could win a game.
Rising from the House of Dog and creature for your entire realm. This is the game of dogs. Connected thrones and feathery fabric. You choose the style, you choose the color. And for your night's watch, comfortable mattresses.
I just fire those things off when I go to the bar.
Endless exchange tickets. Let your dog's words reach your
There's nothing I like better in the world than Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm gonna get the tickets next week. Are you for sure 100% guaranteed? I need to hear it out of your mouth. I promise I'm gonna be here. Colonel Mustard, you're in. I got something.
You can tell who did the writing. It wasn't Jim. He didn't put the smiley face on it.
All right. All right. I commit. I just committed, and it's all a trust issue now. Jim's
how can you possibly drive if we don't only have 2 people? Is that why you must realize driving? Look your routine eye exam today.
Thank you very much.
Make her optimal.
I just wish I wish I knew here on the
Yeah, I already get the message.
You're trusting that guy with electronics?
Okay.
You recording audio on that too?
Every day.
All right.
Yes. Be careful telling stories.
All right.
I don't listen.
All right, everybody, welcome to Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park. It's our last regular season series of the 2019 regular schedule. We do, of course, have playoffs that start on Wednesday for home game. We will be in Wenatchee. We just found out Wenatchee, we're going to play them on Tuesday, game 1, games 2, and if necessary, game 3 are here. I hope everybody understands how that works. Best of 3 North Division series that we'll be up against the Wenatchee Apple Sox, and we're looking forward to that challenge. Again, Tuesday night we're in Wenatchee, Wednesday and if needed game 3 Thursday are here. We are selling tickets now. You can go to the ticket booth, you can go online, and you can get those tickets. We appreciate that. It's going to be a busy one here tonight. It's going to be an even busier one tomorrow because we have fireworks presented by Wallace Driving School. We want to thank them for bringing the fireworks back our last Saturday of the season. And then on Sunday is Tour de Victoria and Bike to the Park Day. It's also fan appreciation with Passion Sports. A lot of fun is going to go on for that 1 o'clock game on Sunday as well. And we look forward to seeing you. We've got some great groups here today. First of all, how about a hand for Elvis performing before the game here today? And he might be back later in the game too. Thank you, Donnie, Elvis. Great to have you. Use.ca up on our bus. Thanks for being here, guys. Paint everything purple. And we get the RT Prime group on our deck over there. But we have a couple of fun things to do before this game. Yes, today is Jersey Off Your Back game with Odlum Brown. Here's the deal. You have to enter the draw to win a jersey. Obviously, we'll pull names. Your name has to be in the draw. Programs are free today. Fill out the form on page 25 and put your name in the draw. And if your name is drawn, and you have to be here at the end of the game to do it, an odd thing that's going to happen today is we are on Forces Friday here with Galaxy Motors. We are going to certainly recognize Vic PD and the Forces partners we have, military, and Vic Fire held up there, Harvey's way up in the sky, and some other things going on with Vic Fire. But we're going to wear these jerseys for the first part of the game, and then we're going to switch into the jerseys that are going to come off our backs, which are the red old Astro-style striped Canada jerseys, and those are the ones who get a chance to win tonight. It's going to be an odd one to see it, but guys are going to wear 2 different jerseys here tonight, so we can give those ones away. We want to thank Odlum Brown for sponsoring that, and Odlum Brown and us, we're going to work together for next year's Jersey Off the Bat. We're going to let you help us design that jersey that we're going to give away next year. We're going to be doing a contest on that in the off-season. Thank you to Paul and everybody at Odlum Brown for their support on this. But tonight, this is fun. All right, Dan Atkinson, come on over here. I'd like to introduce you to Dan Atkinson, Deputy Fire Chief for Vic Fire. Vic Fire, thank you for being here. Everyone help me welcome the people here from Vic Fire. You'll all remember that back in, well, before our season started, I think May 6th, we had a major fire in our downtown here in Victoria. The old Plaza Hotel, very spectacularly, burned for a number of days. It was a very dangerous fire situation. Dan Atkinson and the team, who I wanted to introduce, used a number of different tools to make sure that fire did not become a bigger issue than what it was already. Dan, I want you to talk about what happened with that fire, and we're going to introduce a video here after you talk a little bit about that. Introduce your people here first, though.
So today we have Tammy Patterson, University Program Coordinator for the City of Victoria. She's going to be piloting the UAV or the RPAS tonight. We have Scott Mitchell, firefighter with the City of Victoria. He's going to be the visual observer. Up top we have Sean Marin, firefighter. He's going to be operating the payload. And Olivia Koziacek, who is our Deputy Emergency Program Coordinator. As Jim mentioned, on May 6th of this year, we had a significant fire downtown, probably the largest fire we've seen downtown since, well, probably in the last 40 years. That fire was in serious jeopardy of compromising the buildings immediately adjacent to it. And one of the tools that we deployed that night that we want to show you here today is our RPAS and our floor camera, which allowed us to protect those buildings that were immediately up against the Plaza Hotel and really allowed us to save them. So without further ado, we'll cut to the video.
Jason, if you could, please, I'm going to hand you the microphone back down. You can show this is footage from the drone. Go ahead and describe this better than I can.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. So actually what you're seeing here tonight is the first time this video has been shown in public. This is video from our FLIR camera. At the event, we deployed 3 aerial apparatus and our RPAS to provide us some situational awareness of the fire. The RPAS allowed us to see through the smoke. The smoke conditions that day were extremely dense. We were struggling to determine whether or not our fire streams were being effective. The RPAS allowed us to get a good thermal image of the fire. It allowed us to see where our fire streams were most effective, and it really was instrumental in allowing us to save that building immediately to the south.
Absolutely devastating. I think we all not only saw the smoke, but we felt the flames in some way, shape, or form, but saw the aftermath of this, either through, individually or through the media coverage that happened with it. And I'd like to, we'd like to, you guys would like to, now show off this drone that helped to fight this fire. Go ahead if you could. We're going to get this going, and we're going to be able to show you live video here. What this drone can do, just like what you saw on the screen. And take a look. You can follow the drone. You can follow the camera work up on the screen as well. And Dan, you want to talk a little bit further about this?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. So, in addition to the thermal imaging camera, we also have a high-resolution 4K camera that we use in a number of different applications. We work closely with our partners in police, as well as other city departments to provide situational awareness, mapping, thermal imagery, as we alluded to earlier, and we can utilize it for search and rescue applications as well. We've deployed the UAV at a number of incidents since its inception in 2016. All of the equipment that we use is Transport Canada certified. All of our pilots have gone through a rigorous training program, hundreds of hours of training and certification to make sure they're Transport Canada compliant. One of the unique things about Victoria specifically is that we are in a protected airspace. The entire city of Victoria is protected airspace, and therefore we need to ensure that we meet all of the necessary requirements and certifications under Transport Canada regulations.
This is obviously a very powerful tool that the Vic Fire Department has to help out, and obviously they also work in concert with other first responders here in Victoria. So this is the kind of thing that would be, I believe, helped out if they had something in concert with Vic PD as well, or even military. There's so many different relationships between all of our forces here in Victoria, and it helps to keep us safe, helps to keep fire suppressed, helps to keep crime suppressed. And one of those things that we really can use, or the Vic Fire can really use with Vic PD and with ambulance, with all the other first responders, very powerful tools that help to make, I don't know about you guys, but I feel a whole lot better after having seen this. We did a demonstration on it about a week ago, and just so impressive to be able to see it and what they can do. And we want to thank Vic PD, or Vic Fire. Victoria Fire Department has been fantastic in being a partner with us. Daniel, Keith Bruce, everybody's been great. And to be able to do this on a Forces Friday with Galaxy Motors is something we're very excited to be able to do here. And some of this video, we're going to see if we can use it later in some things you might see in presentations that we do online and social media in partnership here with Vic Fire Department, Vic PD, and all the other partners. So have a big round of applause for this demonstration here today. Earlier in the season, we were excited to be able to have the K9 unit from Vic PD here as well, just to be able to show the kind of things that happen in our community through these great departments that work so closely with our community. And the work that they do is certainly worthy of every bit of praise of what they're able to do in helping us to feel safer. The other thing is the Polaris side-by-side you see on the field is used. We have a lot of beach area, right? Used for beach fires. It's got some interesting attachments that can help to fight fires in places where the trucks and even people have trouble getting to. And certainly another powerful tool for Vic Fire Department in keeping us all safe. And we're about to have our landing. How about a big hand for Vic Fire Department and all they do for our community here. We appreciate them being able to do this. I think as people know, with Wilson Group of Companies and with the HarbourCats, we care a ton about our first responders and about our military. It's been fantastic to see that relationship grow this year. We want to thank Vic PD, Vic Fire Department, and all the other people who've been part of this. Thank you guys, that was a great demonstration. We love having that. We're looking forward to seeing that video as well. Thank you very, very much. It's been great to have you guys. And once again, it is Odlum Brown jersey off her back tonight. Paul, I just spotted you over there. Paul Barron from Odlum Brown, one of the great guys in town. I want to thank them for their partnership tonight. That's going to allow a whole bunch of game-worn jerseys to be walking out of here, signed by our players live. It's going to be a fun night for us. Who's all here because of jersey off the back night here tonight? I want to tell you one little secret. This is the one night that we let our staff get a program, put their names in. We don't let them do that, but tonight they really want to have a chance to win some of these jerseys. So luck of the draw, we'll see what happens with jersey off the back night. And I'll send it back up to you guys so we can get the plate visit done and the anthems.
Jason.
That was pretty cool. Isn't that cool? You leave my hat with you, my friend. I'll be back to that one. Okay? Nobody's stealing it when I'm here on watch.
Yeah, there you go. Tallest down.
Wherever you told me to go.
Good to see you. I haven't, it's been so long I don't know where for that. Oh, you look a little gorgeous.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the singing of the national anthem, brought to you by Herald Engineering Limited, Vancouver Islands, consulting engineers for 25 years. Here to perform is Jason Inwood.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free, from far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Hello and welcome to Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park. It's the start of the final regular season series for the Victoria HarbourCats here in 2019 as they welcome in their North Division rivals from across the Strait of Juan de Fuca, the Port Angeles Lefties. Thanks for tuning in tonight on Go Live Broadcast. My name is Mike Edwards along with producer Chris Jaycox in the broadcast truck. Well, this is it. Just one more series before the HarbourCats get the playoffs underway on Tuesday night. They now know that the Wenatchee Apple Sox will be their first round opponent in the North Division series. But first, before the postseason begins, it's a 3-game set for the HarbourCats to wrap up the regular season here at home against Port Angeles. Well, let's take a look at the game time weather here before first pitch in Victoria. 18 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Overcast skies, but it is still fairly warm and not a bad evening for baseball, even though the sun is not out. A little bit of wind as well, blowing just softly out to left field, so it does not appear at this point to be a huge factor in the game for either side. HarbourCats take the field here for the first game of the 3-game weekend series, their last regular season series at home, and they're wearing their special Friday night uniforms, the tribute to Victoria Police Department on Forces Friday here at the ballpark. And leading out the HarbourCats here tonight is Dakota Hawkins, who stands at 6 feet, 195 pounds from Lower Columbia College. He is 1-1 with a 2.82 ERA in 8 appearances and 4 starts on the summer for the HarbourCats. He's allowed just 4 walks in 28 2/3 innings, along with 23 hits and 18 strikeouts. Hawkins has been very good in his last couple of starts. He has picked up a pair of quality starts in his last 2. Went 6 scoreless innings back on July the 20th against Yakima Valley, and then on August the 1st against Cowlitz, he went 6 innings, allowing 2 earned runs on 4 hits and a walk while striking out 2. So Hawkins has been excellent of late, and he will look to keep that going into this start here tonight. Let's take a look at the Port Angeles lineup fielded by the head coach for the Lefties, Darren Westergaard. It's led off by Gavin Rourke in center field. Brad Altamari, the second baseman, bats second. Damiano Palmagiani, the third baseman, bats third. Dylan Sear in right field bats in the cleanup spot. Trevor Rosenberg, the shortstop, bats fifth. The first baseman, Bo Blowers, bats sixth. Reese DeHayden, the left fielder, bats seventh. Riley Quinton, the DH, bats eighth. And Tommy Takayoshi, the catcher, bats in the number 9 spot for Port Angeles this evening. The right-hander, Zach Tresmer, will get the ball in the bottom of the first for Port Angeles. But first, it's Dakota Hawkins and the HarbourCats getting us underway here in this top half of inning number 1. We thank you for joining us on Go Live Broadcast. And here is Hawkins' first pitch. That is a fastball in there for strike 1. To get us underway, here Gavin Rourke behind 0-1, the leadoff man in the order for the Port Angeles Lefties. Now the 0-1 pitch is going to be on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Hawkins, as we told you about, the walks very low, just 4 walks so far he's allowed on the season. So he's a guy who attacks the strike zone early and often. This one is fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes. Still the count here on Gavin Rourke, the center fielder. Rourke comes into today as the stolen base leader for the Port Angeles Lefties. He has 22 stolen bases on the season to go along with a .312 batting average, 1 home run, 9 RBIs for Rourke, so it's been a good individual campaign for him in center field and at the plate. Breaking ball misses off the plate outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Even count now. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Hawkins. That is strike 3 called in there to Gavin Rourke, and there's 1 down here in the top of the first inning. A punch out for Hawkins to get his evening underway. So that'll bring in Brad Altamari. Base is clear, 1 away after the strikeout by Hawkins. High fastball misses in tight there to Altamari. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, both these teams have had to deal with a lot of player departures back to their universities. There's a foul away over the right side, 1-1. Now, Port Angeles has been especially hit hard. A lot of their good players have had to go, and they don't have many left. So they do bring a very small roster over to Victoria for this 3-game series to close out their season. Lefties, of course, know that they will not be playing postseason baseball this year. Hawkins ahead here, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gavin Rourke, and he awaits the pitch. Check that on Brad Altamari, I should say. Takes outside on that last pitch. It's 2-2. Hawkins looks in for the signs. He's now set for the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball that bounces away. It's now a full count, 3-2 on Altamari. Well, 3-man umpiring crew for tonight's ball game. At home plate, Jared Roberts, John Hollett is at first, and Scott Eckhart at third. Here now the 3-2 pitch, lined in the air to straightaway center field, and coming on to make the catch, Ty Schindel, and there's 2 down. So Altamari hit that ball pretty hard, but it did hang up there in center field for Ty Schindel. Now again, going back to the Lefties and the fact that they've lost a lot of their good players, the HarbourCats are no different, but at the same time, whenever a good player leaves who is getting a lot of at-bats, it's an opportunity for someone else to step in. And so that's what the HarbourCats are looking for from some of their recent arrivals. Try to step in and fill the shoes of some of the HarbourCat players who were really productive both at the plate and in the field, and same as well on the pitcher's mound, on the pitching side of things. Base is clear, 2 away in the top of the first inning. This one is fouled back there by the third baseman Damiano Palmigiani. Hawkins ahead here of Palmigiani, 0-2. Looking for a very quick first inning. He's thrown just 11 pitches so far. This one is skied down the right field line and back out of play for a foul ball, and still 0-2 the count.
Hey fans, when you fill out that ballot on page 25 to win all the prizes...
HarbourCats defense tonight behind Hawkins looks like this. Left to right in the outfield, Kyle Sherrick, Ty Schindel, Nick Adams. Harrison Spahn at the hot corner. At third, Gus Wilson, who has been red hot at the plate of late. He starts at short. Tanner Haney at second, Griffin Paxton at first, and there is a strikeout, number 2 for Hawkins. McGregor sharp behind the plate, working well with Hawkins in that first inning, and the HarbourCats coming up to hit next on Go Live Broadcasts.
Let me know at 35.
It is now time for the big first series of the game.
That's riding up and down, riding down the side of them. I think so. Yeah.
Leading off for your HarbourCats, he is the designated hitter, Marshall and Massey from Cal Baptist, number 23, Nick Playa.
We're back here in the home half of inning number 1. HarbourCats and the Lefties just getting underway here in game 1 of this 3-game weekend series to wrap up the 2019 West Coast League regular season. Nick Playa will dig in to lead off this first inning for the HarbourCats, and this one is driven in the air, deep left field. Back on it, at the wall, it's gone! On the very first pitch of the bottom of the first inning, Nick Playa goes deep, and it's 1-0. Well, that did not take long. Nick Playa unloads on the first offering thrown by Zach Tresmer. Right after the Baby Shark walk-up song, Nick Playa hits it out. And that's a good way to get the fans into the game here early in Victoria. Next up is Gus Wilson. That was home run number 6, by the way, for Playa on the season. So here now is Wilson at the plate, trying to follow that up with some more offense here early for the HarbourCats. Wilson hits one on the ground towards the hole. Diving stop there at third by Palmigiani. His throw is wild to first. Wilson takes the turn and heads for second. That may well be a base hit, and then a throwing error to allow him to advance 90 feet to second. It has in fact been called a hit there for Wilson. So HarbourCats with a home run and now a runner at second and nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Quick start for them. And next up, Griffin Paxton, who is coming off a monster series in Port Angeles earlier this week. In the 3 games, he went 6 for 14, and in the game on Wednesday in particular, Paxton went 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs, which were his first 2 long balls of the season. Paxton takes a strike, 0-1 from Tresmer, who's just trying to settle down here and get into this game. Now, I mentioned the small roster for Port Angeles that they brought over to Victoria for this series. So the last thing they need is for Zach Tresmer to get knocked out as the starter in game 1 early in the game and have to make up a lot of innings with the limited bullpen that is available to head coach Darren Westergaard. 1 ball, 1 strike on Paxton. Overall in the season, he's hitting .316 with those aforementioned 2 homers and 27 runs driven in. Wilson at second, nobody out. Paxton a swing and a foul away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, let's now get through the full HarbourCats lineup. Playa went deep leading off the ball game, or the bottom of the first, I should say. Then Gus Wilson, Griffin Paxton now at the plate. Harrison Spahn will be next, the cleanup man at third base. Kyle Sherrick, the left fielder, bats 5th. Tanner Haney at second base is batting 6th as the 1-2 pitch to Paxton coming up here from Tresmer. Paxton into right field. That's down for a base knock. Getting the stop sign at third, Gus Wilson. Paxton took a wide turnaround first as the throw from Sear in right field came all the way to the plate, but Paxton will go back to first base. HarbourCats with another hit. And they have runners at first and third, nobody out here in the first inning. Just to finish the HarbourCats order, after Haney in the 6th spot, Ty Schindel, the center fielder, bats 7th. Nick Adams, the right fielder, batting 8th. And McGregor Sharp, the catcher, batting in the number 9 spot. So Wilson at third, Paxton at first, Harrison Spahn at the plate. HarbourCats lead 1-0 on the Nick Playa solo home run to lead off this bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Spahn is a strike from Tresmer, who has been very good on the season, although this is his first start of the year for Port Angeles. He's made 11 appearances out of the bullpen, and again, he has been very good, 1-1 with a 1.05 ERA in 17 2/3 innings. He has struck out 12 and allowed 15 hits and 6 walks. 0-1 to Spahn. That one misses down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Spawn also is in the midst of a very recent hot streak for the HarbourCats. He had a big series in Port Angeles this week, went 7 for 14 with 3 doubles, 3 runs, and 3 RBIs. And again, that's continued what has been a very impressive offensive surge from Spawn recently. There's a wave and a miss. It's 1-2. But Spawn coming into tonight, he has at least 1 base hit in 14 of his last 15 games. And of those 14 games where he has had at least 1 hit, 9 of them have been multi-hit games. So he's really been piling up the offensive numbers of late. And that's seen his batting average and his offensive numbers in total really spike recently, coming in at .291, 24 runs scored, and 20 runs driven in. Spawn out towards the gap in left center. This ball, though, is going to be caught in left field there by DeHuyden. Tagging and scoring is Gus Wilson from third. And it's 2-0 HarbourCats. So it is a productive out for Harrison Spawn. He picks up an RBI on the sac fly. Although he did hit it hard, and that one been just a little more towards the gap in left center field as opposed to at the left fielder Reese DeHuyden. That could have been potentially more than just the 1 run driven in. So there is now an out for Tresmer in the first inning. That's something he can try to build off and keep the HarbourCats away from a big inning here in the first. He'd love to just put up a 0 from here on out and keep it at 2-0. Just settle into the game a bit for the lefties and give them, again, some innings with the limited depth that they have available to them. This one, though, is into right field by Kyle Sherrick. Paxton will go first to third on the play, and runners are back at the corners for the HarbourCats here now with 1 out. And once again, Victoria just stringing together good at bats. Kyle Sherrick picks up the base hit. So that'll bring in Tanner Haney now for Victoria. Haney hitting .266. He has 17 runs scored and 14 driven in for Victoria. RBI spot for him if he can get one deep enough to the outfield to try to score Griffin Paxton from third base. Sherrick goes for second. The throw down there is not in time. Coming home and scoring is Paxton. And that makes it 3-0, a double steal for the HarbourCats. Sherrick took second. Paxton on the throw down to second took home. Well executed there from Victoria. We know they're aggressive on the base paths, and it paid off for him that time. Sherrick is a speed demon out there especially. He was what allowed Paxton to score by stealing second straight up. Now he's in scoring position with 1 away for Tanner Haney to try to knock in with a base hit. Wave and a miss there by Haney on a 73-mile-per-hour breaking ball from Tresmer. No balls, 1 strike. Next up after Tanner Haney will be Ty Schindel, the center fielder for Victoria. Lefties wearing their bright orange alternate uniforms. HarbourCats in dark blue. This one is swung on and missed for the strikeout, but it gets away. And that will allow Haney to reach base at first. So the HarbourCats catch a break here with Haney striking out, but reaching safely at first base. So there's still only 1 out. Runners back at the corners for Victoria now, as Sherrick got to third. And now it'll be Ty Schindel. So 3 runs on 4 hits, and there's still only 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. HarbourCats out to an early 3-0 lead. There's a good crowd on hand here on this Friday night. Last home series of the regular season. Schindel pops this one up behind third base. It will get back out of play onto the Strathcona Hotel rooftop party deck there and behind third base. So 0-1 the count on Ty Schindel. Well, I mentioned the attendance. HarbourCats are going to be keeping a close eye on the attendance numbers this weekend. Of course, tomorrow They are expecting a big number with the fireworks, the last of 4 fireworks nights here in 2019. 0-1 to Schindel is hit well in the air out to deep center. Going back on it, and Rourke makes the catch. Tagging from third, coming in to score is Kyle Sherrick, and Schindel picks up an RBI on the sacrifice fly to make it 4-0. So that's a couple of sac flies in this inning to extend the HarbourCats lead, and it's been a very productive first inning for them to lead at 4-0 here. Now 2 away for Nick Adams. Now I mentioned the attendance, and just back to that quickly, HarbourCats are going to be keeping an eye on it because they are approaching a potential franchise record for single season attendance. They just seem to, season upon season, break their previous record. And again, they have a chance to do that this weekend. If they get about 10,000 fans at the park this weekend, they would have a very good chance to break the record. 9,000 would make them close. And they think that's possible when you look at the fireworks night tomorrow, perhaps between 4,000 and 5,000 for that game. And then the other 2 games, the last 2 regular season games for Victoria. So it's a possibility. HarbourCats pushing to try to break that season-long franchise record in attendance. There's a wave and a miss by Nick Adams. 1 ball, 1 strike. Adams comes in hitting .244, 6 home runs, 18 RBIs. He has also been swinging a hot bat of late for Victoria. Had a good series earlier this week down in Port Angeles. Went 5 for 9 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in the 3 games against the Lefties. Wave and a miss there by Nick Adams as Tressimer gets him on strikes to end the inning, but it's a good frame for the HarbourCats. They score 4 runs and lead it 4-0 here as we go to the second.
All right, fans, look out over the center field fence. We've got the blue, red, and white black ball Soho merry-go race. Pick a color, on your marks, get set, go! Blue forgot to let the anchor up, but it looks good there. And turn it on the Jets. Could this be Blue's first win of the season?
Wow.
Upper deck experience known on our RT Prime Group. Welcome to all of you. If there's more cookies that were brought to you, the cookie guy, go to cookie.ca using coupon code GOCATS, 10% off and free delivery. Leading off to the Port Angeles Lefties, the right fielder, number 14.
On we go to inning number 2. We thank you for joining us here on Go Live Broadcast for tonight's game. HarbourCats and the Lefties playing 3 this weekend here at Wilson's Group Stadium. We thank you as well for sending in your tweets, showing a couple of them during the inning break. Remember, you can see potentially your tweet featured on the broadcast by using the hashtag HarbourCats. We'll do that in a couple more of the inning breaks tonight. So keep getting those live tweets in. This is Dakota Hawkins back to work. A couple of strikeouts for him in that first inning, and now he has a 4-run lead to work with as he pitches to Dylan Sear, the right fielder. This one is sent in the air out to left field. Taking Sherrick back towards the warning track, makes the catch. Was starting to run out of room out there, but he did reach up to make the catch, and so there's one away. Well, one other housekeeping note for you, a chance for us to remind you that craft services for Go Live Broadcast are provided by Molly's Fish and Chips here in Victoria, BC. And there is the Molly's Fish and Chips food truck HarbourCats really do have a great selection of food trucks here at the park. Fans have been able to enjoy them all summer long, Molly's being one of the best, that's for sure. This one is grounded towards third. Harrison Spawn, a tough play, but he made it look easy, and there's 2 down. That was not an easy play. He had to glove it and was a little off balance as he transferred it to his throwing arm. But we know Spawn plays excellent defense wherever he is, at short or at third or at second. So quickly 2 away. Dakota Hawkins still yet to allow a base runner in the ball game. Next up, Trevor Rosenberg. Check that. That was Trevor Rosenberg a moment ago, bouncing out to Harrison Spawn. This is the first baseman, Bo Blowers, at the plate. Nothing in 1 pitch. Fastball missing off the plate outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Blowers. Well, limited at bats for Blowers. He is 1 for 11 so far on the season for Port Angeles. It is now 1-2. Hawkins ahead of him, looking for back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings to start the ball game. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. In on the hands, a slow roller towards short. Gus Wilson's throw in time at first, and that's the inning. So another nice frame for Dakota Hawkins. He is through 2 scoreless, and the HarbourCats lead at 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the second.
All right, thank you, Dan. Wilson's transportation, the HarbourCats are always proud to honor our armed forces. Often it's a serving member, but it's also important to remember the people who served before. So I'm going to ask you to welcome Warren Burns. He's 83 years old. He served the Queen's
Bountyview
own
Royal
rifle.
was able to purchase land to build a new public safety building using provincial gaming revenue from hosting Elements Casino Victoria. The new building has larger sleeping quarters, so volunteer firefighters can be on call, on site, and respond to emergencies even faster. The building isn't only home to the town's fire department, though. It also has space for public safety staff and a secondary emergency operations center, too. BCLC, we're community-minded, with your community in mind.
Leading up for your HarbourCats, the catcher. From Douglas College, number 17, McGregor Sharp.
We go to the home half of inning number 2. HarbourCats with a 4-0 lead. Big first inning for them. 4 runs coming across. And so Victoria continuing the trend of scoring runs early and often against this Port Angeles team that is just kind of struggling to get to the finish line in the West Coast League season. This is McGregor Sharp, the catcher for Victoria, and number 9 hitter in the order. Sharp takes one up high there for 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Sharp from Douglas College, native of North Vancouver, BC. Recent addition with the HarbourCats losing especially a lot of their catchers back to their respective colleges, so they've had to add a couple of catchers to the roster, and McGregor Sharp getting a chance here to show what he can do with the HarbourCats. 3-0 count here on Sharp. He's been patient to this point. We'll see if he's a little aggressive here on 3-0. No, he's not. He's taking outside, and it's ball 4. So a good at bat for Sharp, just taking what Tresmer was giving him, and that was not really much to hit. So Sharp at first, nobody out. Nick Playa back to the plate, and we know what he did in the first inning. On the very first pitch he saw, leading off the first for Victoria, blasted a home run over the left field fence. This time he has a man on first. Time called at the plate here before the 0-0 pitch to Nick Playa. Well, earlier this week in Port Angeles, Playa went 4 for 11 with 2 RBIs. This one is softly hit up the middle, could be 2. It's dropped there at second. The throw to first is not in time. So they do get 1 out, but that ball actually was hit right towards second base, and it wound up tipping off the base, which made it difficult for Trevor Rosenberg to pick it up cleanly. He did keep his composure and get the out at second, so it'll be a fielder's choice for Playa. So Playa is at first base now, replacing McGregor Sharp. Now there's 1 away, and Gus Wilson stepping in. Wilson already 1 for 1, came in to score after reaching on an infield hit. He actually got to second on that play with a wild throw. But he did get a hit. He was credited with the base hit before that throwing error allowed him to reach second base. One ball, no strikes now on Wilson. Well, I talked about the fact that Gus Wilson has really stepped up and done a nice job for the HarbourCats. That was on display this week in Port Angeles, where he went 7 for 15 with 3 doubles, 5 runs scored, and 4 RBIs, mainly hitting in the 2-hole in the lineup. There goes Playa. The throw is airmailed into center field. Playa is headed for third, and he's going to reach third base safely here with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. So now this becomes a potential RBI spot for Gus Wilson. But again, just back to Wilson. Great to see for the HarbourCats, because that's the type of performance they need from guys stepping up and taking over for a number of the quality hitters that have had to leave the HarbourCats. Certainly what Victoria needs, players like Wilson to embrace that next man up mentality, and he's taken full advantage of the opportunity he's been given to step up and hit high up in the HarbourCats batting order. And he's already off to a good start in this game as well, with a base hit and a run scored. Now a chance to knock in a run in his second at bat already here in the second inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gus Wilson, and the pitch from Tresmer coming up. Breaking ball almost hit him inside. 2-2. Gus Wilson just had to kind of duck out of the way of it. Even count now, 2-2 on Wilson. Playa at third, 1 out in the bottom of the second. 4-0 HarbourCats after that 4-run first inning. Wilson goes upstairs and hits it out to center field. This might be deep enough as Rourke makes the catch. Playa's going to come in, and with his speed, he scores easily. So it's a sac fly and an RBI for Gus Wilson to make it 5-0. HarbourCats already have hit 3 sac flies in this game. They've gotten base runners on, they've gotten them to third, and they've been able to drive them in. Good fundamental baseball. That's how you win games, especially in the playoffs. So I'm sure that will be something that'll please Todd Haney. The ability just to not necessarily, blast the ball all around the yard, but just get runs in when they can and extend the lead here now to 5-0. There's a breaking ball from Tresmer to Griffin Paxton that misses for 1 ball and no strikes. Mentioned how hot Paxton has been at the plate recently. He's one of the big bats in the HarbourCats lineup all season, and he's one of the few who's been able to stay and not have to leave to go back to school. This time, though, he flies out to center field to end the inning. HarbourCats score another run and lead at 5-0 as we head to inning number 3.
Oh, never mind.
On we go to inning number 3. HarbourCats have runs in each of the first 2 innings, 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and they lead 5-0 as we head to the top of the 3rd. Meanwhile, on the pitching side, it's been a great start also for Dakota Hawkins, yet to allow a base runner through 2 innings, and he starts off with strike 1. Here to Reese Hayden, the left fielder, waving a miss that time, 0-2. Well, DeHayden, a catcher by trade, but he's in left field here tonight. He comes in 5 for 25 on the season, so limited at bats for DeHayden. There's a breaking ball that just dips down low for 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hawkins still ahead of him here. This one is punched foul over towards the first base coach's box. Remains 1-2. Well, I mentioned that Hawkins has been very good of late in his last 2 starts, both of them quality starts. And he brings an ERA below 3 at a 2.82 into this start here tonight. 1-2 pitch is in there for strike 3 call. Froze to Hayden with the breaking ball, and there's 1 down. Now Hawkins is another guy who certainly will be a big factor for the HarbourCats in their playoff run, as one of the few starting pitchers who has been able to stick around, and he's been very good when he's gotten the ball. So the HarbourCats will hope that when he does throw in the playoffs, that he can be just as effective. Wave and a miss there on the first pitch by Riley Quinton, the DH. 1 away, bases clear in the top of the 3rd inning. Fouled away that time by Quinton, 0-2. Well, I mentioned it a couple of times now with some of the HarbourCats enjoying very productive series up in Port Angeles earlier this week. It was due to a bit of a scheduling quirk that the HarbourCats and Lefties are playing 6 straight games against each other to close out their respective regular seasons. So we're now at the midway point of those 6 games, 3 in Port Angeles and now 3 in Victoria. It was, though, a one-sided series to say the least down in Port Angeles earlier this week. There's a fastball missing in tight to Riley Quinton. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. But you look at the run totals the HarbourCats put up compared to the Lefties. HarbourCats in the 3 games in Port Angeles outscored Port Angeles by a combined score of 35-5. So it was a long series for Port Angeles. It was not a fun one to be a part of if you're a member of the Lefties. 15-3, HarbourCats won in the first game, 11-2 in the second game, and then 9-0 last night. Wave and a miss, and it's going to be a strikeout as McGregor Sharp tosses it down to first, and that's the second out of the inning. So another punch out there for Dakota Hawkins. He continues to cruise so far. And again, you do feel for the Lefties because they've lost a lot of their good players. Most notably, Matthew Christian, who is the West Coast League home run leader with 12 home runs and 30 RBIs, led the team by a wide margin in that department. But the HarbourCats, too, again, have been hit hard by player departures. It's just about trying to bring in guys who can still be productive and who can take that opportunity and run with it. And that's what Victoria is hoping can happen in the postseason. Certainly it's what has happened so far, with Victoria kind of filtering some of their new arrivals in these last couple regular season series. Ball and a strike here to Tommy Takayoshi. Wave and a miss, and it's 1-2. He's the catcher for Port Angeles. Takayoshi 8 for 44 so far on the season. That's a 181 batting average. He's behind here on Hawkins. 1-2. Goes upstairs and fouls it away. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Hawkins worked through the lefties in order in both the first 2 innings, and a chance here if he can find one more good pitch to Takayoshi to do the same here in the third. Here comes another 1-2, but before that, time is called. Now the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Buckled him with the curveball. And that'll end the inning as Dakota Hawkins is through the Port Angeles lefties order without allowing a base runner the first time through. It's 5-0 HarbourCats. And Dakota Hawkins cruising so far as we go to the bottom of the third.
I'm going to give you 2 options. 1, you can have a prize right now, and I will not call you again. Or 2, if the Cats are winning at the end of 7 innings, you get a bigger, better prize. Do you want to give me the better prize, or do you want?
We were getting married in the most beautiful rural setting. My mom got sick and couldn't be with us for our big day. I was heartbroken. Thankfully, we discovered ExploreNet. They responded right away and connected us to high-speed internet. Our big day was incredible because it felt like Mom was there.
ExploreNet. Connect to what matters.
This is so good.
Let me show you why. Our growers, they select the beans, not as easy as it seems. This one's perfect, that one too. So many great beans to brew. Premium Arabica. Ship them off to Canada. Arrive at our roastery. Sorting, roasting every bean. Taste test each cup. Coffee masters give thumbs up. Handcraft fresh brew. Spreading joy is what we do. From bean to cup, that is how we brew it up.
Cool. How you making donuts?
Right, great job. Have a good forward. Tim Hortons for you here. Thank you for playing with Tim Hortons. All right, we got some frisbees for you guys in the crowd from Booster Juice. You win free Booster Juice and a frisbee. Make some noise. Let's hear ya. Leading off for your HarbourCats, the third baseman from Cal Baptist, number 6, Harrison Spawn.
5-0, the HarbourCats are on top of the Port Angeles Lefties here on this Friday night from Wilson's Group Stadium, game 1 of 3 this weekend to wrap up the 2019 West Coast League regular season. One final tune-up series for the HarbourCats before they begin their postseason schedule on Tuesday in Wenatchee. Here is Harrison Spawn for Victoria, leading off this bottom of the third. Took ball 1. Spawn knocked in a run with a sac fly in his first plate appearance. Fouled away that time by Spawn. 1 ball, 1 strike. HarbourCats here in this bottom of the third inning will send the middle third of their order to the plate. 4, 5, 6. Spawn, Sherrick, and Haney. Well, Dakota Hawkins has been excellent so far. We do have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for Victoria, so of course in a meaningless game standings-wise with the playoffs coming up, no need to overwork Hawkins tonight. Certainly this start has, though, served a purpose to keep his rhythm going, and he's looked very sharp so far, so maybe all he needs is a couple innings here, the 3 he's thrown, to stay in that rhythm, and maybe that's all he'll be asked to do tonight. We'll see in the top of the 4th. Breaking ball misses off the plate outside to Spawn. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Even count here, 2-2. Spawn leading off this bottom of the third inning. Popped up into shallow right field. This is going to be the second baseman, Altamari, taking care of it. So Spahn is retired for the first out of the bottom of the third. So next up, Kyle Sherrick. He's already singled and scored back in the first inning. Sherrick has been swinging a much hotter bat at the plate recently than when he started out with the HarbourCats. That single in the first inning has seen his average rise up to 246.
I'll try to stay on until at least they announce the other batter.
1 ball, no strikes on Kyle Sherrick. And the pitch from Tresmer is lifted in the air down to right field. Back on it towards the wall. Reaching up and making the catch at the wall is Dylan Sear. He took a home run away. No, or did he? No, Sherrick still rounding the bases. That ball's gone. My mistake. It looked like Sear took it away in right field, but Sherrick just got it out of his reach. So he did not make the catch. Just judging by his reaction, it looked like Dylan Sear made that catch. But no, he did not. Well, that was a very strange play, but it was a home run for Kyle Sherrick. That's his second of the summer. And next up here is Tanner Haney. So it's 6-0. I think our scoreboard operator still thinks that that ball was caught. Haney is going to pop this one up, and it's caught at first. So that's the second out of the inning, not the third out, because the ball did leave the yard. We have confirmed it did leave the yard. So it's now the second out, and it's 6-0. So the base is empty, 2 away here in this bottom of the fourth inning. HarbourCats have now scored another run, and they've scored in each of the first 3 innings now in this game. 6-0 they lead. Ty Schindel at the plate. He fouled away that first pitch from Tresmer. He's behind 0-1. There's a strike to Schindel. 0-2 now. Tresmer, despite the fact that he started out with that rough first inning, has allowed 1 run to score in each of the last 2 innings, but has looked a lot more solid out there on the mound in these last couple frames. And again, Port Angeles looking for some depth to this start from him. That'll miss up high to Ty Schindel, 1-2. Tresper still ahead here, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tanner Haney. Breaking ball off the plate outside, 2-2. Nick Adams waits on deck. Should Schindel reach here with 2 away in this bottom of the third. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and first, Tresper will step off the mound. Now the 2-2. There's a breaking ball that just dips down low, perhaps just a little outside as well for Ty Schindel. It's a full count now, 3-2. So Schindel has come back here from behind in the count. He's run it full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and the base is clear in the bottom of the third inning. HarbourCats with the run home on Kyle Sherrick's home run. There's a swing and a miss to Schindel, and that'll end the inning. So Tresper gets through the frame despite allowing another home run. It's 6-0 HarbourCats as we go to inning number 4.
All right, friends, it is time for La Tortilla Mexicanas toss for a Mexican dinner for 10. Today we have Tyler, 2 shots. La Tortilla Mexicana Restaurant. Home of Mama's Authentic Recipes, located just blocks down the road at 1205 Quadrant Street. All right, here we go.
That's why the odds are to get a winner. I did it.
That was super close. That too was super close. I believe he does get a prize anyway though for playing. The HarbourCats and Go Live Broadcast are teaming up to provide live broadcasting throughout this season. Again, make it part of our team website there still to Go Live Broadcast. Star TV, keep up with the action. Leading off the center fielder, number 5, Gavin Rourke.
What were we saying?
We're back here for the middle innings at Wilson's Group Stadium. 6-0, Victoria in the lead as we go to the top of the 4th. And it's the top as well of the order for Port Angeles. Gavin Rourke at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes on Rourke. Well, it is still Dakota Hawkins out there throwing for Victoria. And he has been excellent so far. He sat down the lefties in order the first time through the order. This ball is going to go foul down the right field line. So Rourke coming very close to an extra base hit for the first hit in the game for the lefties. But it's just a long strike 1, so it's now a 2-1 count. Rourke is going to have to go back to the batter's box now. Right, HarbourCats still have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen, so we don't expect Hawkins to go too much longer in this game. Maybe one more inning if he can get through it quickly. He's thrown just 41 pitches so far tonight. He's been working very quickly through the lefties order. It's now 3-1 on Gavin Rourke. And here comes the 3-1 pitch from Hawkins. That one misses, so it is ball 4. So the first base runner in the ball game for Port Angeles, still though awaiting their first hit.
Now batting the second baseman, number 10, Brad Altamari.
Hey, get your ground ball now.
Second baseman Brad Altamari will now step in to hit. He hit a ball hard in the air to center field, but it hung up for Ty Schindel in center. This one is out towards right center field. It's going to get down for a hit, and it's out towards the gap. Around third base is Gavin Rourke. He's going to come in to score, headed for third, and in there with an RBI triple, Brad Altamari makes it 6-1. Well, that ball just kept on rolling once it got down into the gap. Nick Adams could not cut it off in right center field. And so it's a RBI triple for Altamari. And that might be it for Dakota Hawkins. He's upset at himself, but it was a great outing for him before that. And again, there's just no need for the HarbourCats to overwork him here tonight. He's going to be an important arm for them in the playoffs. So Hawkins will give the ball to Todd Haney and leave the game. He will get a nice ovation as he walks off, and the HarbourCats bringing in a new pitcher here as we are in the top of the 4th inning.
I got power or what? I didn't even say anything.
New pitcher in for the HarbourCats here in the top of inning number 4. It's Jacob Potter, the Victoria, BC native from southeastern Oklahoma State. First pitch he throws is bounced to short. Gus Wilson's throw is on time at first. But a run does score as Altamari comes home from third base to make it 6-2. And getting credit for the RBI groundout, Damiano Palmagiani for Port Angeles. So it is now a 6-2 ball game. A couple of runs in this top of the 4th inning. That last run again will be charged to Dakota Hawkins, but the book now is closed on him. And it was a very good start for Hawkins. Went 4+ innings, 3+ innings, allowed just the 1 earned run on a hit and a walk with 5 strikeouts. Tanner Haney gets a chance to make a play, and it's in plenty of time at first to get Dylan Sear, and there's 2 down. So this is, again, Jacob Potter into the game for Victoria. This is his 3rd appearance out of the bullpen for the HarbourCats. In his last appearance down in Bellingham on August the 2nd, he allowed 3 earned runs on 5 hits in 2 1/3 innings of relief. So that was a game where the HarbourCats just didn't have much going their way. They lost that game 12-6, and so Potter was tasked with coming in to try to give them some innings. After the starter that day, Mitch Lyons did not go very far. But trying to put a 0 up in this relief appearance. Lyons, by the way, did bounce back in a major way in his last start down in the Port Angeles series earlier this week. He was very good against the Lefties. Potter also, again, this is just his 3rd appearance. In order to be eligible for the playoffs, you have to have played 5 regular season games, and with 2 appearances only so far for Potter, he has just 3 games left, and he's going to have to appear in all of them. So one would guess that he might potentially throw tonight and then pinch run tomorrow and then throw again on Sunday, just to get into the game by pinch running and get to those 5 required games to be eligible to play in the postseason. 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Trevor Rosenberg, the shortstop. Rosenberg 0 for 1, and the 2-2 pitch from Potter coming up. Fouls that one away, still 2-2. Well, Potter, he did allow the 1 inherited runner at third base to score, but he's done a nice job so far. A couple of weak contact ground outs. And he's looking for 1 more good pitch here to get Rosenberg and end the inning. Another one rolled foul. It remains 2-2. Well, with the overcast skies here at the ballpark tonight, floodlights are already on out there in center field. Still a good amount of daylight left, but not quite as much with no sunlight. Now the 2-2 pitch from Potter, missing outside. It's 3-2. So Rosenberg is battled back here to make it a full count. Bases are empty with 2 gone and 2 runs in this top of the 4th inning for Port Angeles to make it a 6-2 HarbourCats lead. Fouled back once again by Rosenberg. This is turned into a good battle at the plate between Potter and Rosenberg. Remains a full count, 3-2.
I meant that, I meant that with full respect.
One more time, the payoff pitch from Jacob Potter. And another foul. We'll do it once again. Rosenberg really making Potter work to try to get him out and get through this first inning in relief for Potter. Wave and a miss. He got him, and the tag is applied by McGregor Sharp. At long last, Jacob Potter wins the battle with Trevor Rosenberg and strikes him out with a good curveball. So the Lefties score 2, but the HarbourCats still lead big by a score of 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
No, the Knicks has 6. Keep it
Oh, there's your winner. Over the go-karts and archery tag in Burkeville. I have no idea what archery tag is, but it sounds fun yet dangerous. Came in.
I know it. Whatever they run,
Leading off for your HarbourCats, the right fielder from Yavapai Junior College, number 9, Nick Adams.
6-2, HarbourCats on top of the Port Angeles Lefties as we go to the home half of inning number 4. Nick Adams will start things off for Victoria in this frame. Adams struck out in his first at-bat, so looking to put something in play at the very least here in his second AB. Took a breaking ball from Zach Tresmer in for a strike. Now the 0-1 rolled foul by Nick Adams, 0-2. HarbourCats with 8, 9, and 1 to hit in this bottom of the 4th inning. Adams, Sharp, and then back to the top for Nick Playa. Tresmer ahead 0-2. Adams with a high towering fly ball out to shallow left center. This ball is going to be caught by left center field by DeHuyden. And so there's one out here to start the bottom of the 4th. Well, the HarbourCats scored 6 unanswered runs to start the game. The Lefties did respond with 2 in the last half inning. So they're a little closer, trailing by 4 runs now. And they're looking for Tresmer to put up a 0 for the first time in an inning tonight. HarbourCats scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. So if Tresmer can put up a 0, then the Lefties can try to come back up to the plate in the top of the 5th inning and see if they can keep chipping away at the deficit. This is the catcher, McGregor Sharp, took a walk in his first at-bat, or his first plate appearance, I should say. Breaking ball misses downstairs, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to McGregor Sharp. That one misses again to Sharp, and all he's seen in his 2 plate appearances so far are balls from Zach Tresmer. He took a 4-pitch walk in his first trip to the plate, and now he's ahead 3-0 in the count, just yet to get the bat off his shoulders. See if Tresmer throws him a strike here on 3-0. And it's going to miss, ball 4. Another walk for McGregor Sharp, and it's a pair of 4-pitch walks to him. So for whatever reason, Tresmer just maybe losing a little bit of the focus out there, because Sharp is a catcher batting in the 9 spot for Victoria. So not a guy who you really want to be walking. You want to try to make him beat you, just like you want to do for every hitter. But it's going to bring Nick Playa up to hit. 1 on, 1 out. Playa already tonight has homered and scored a pair of runs. There's a first pitch fastball in for a strike to Nick Playa, and it's 0-1. HarbourCats do have another pitcher up. No one throwing, though, at the moment, just kind of moving around down there in the right field bullpen. It's another factor to consider. As I mentioned, the situation with Potter needing to get into all 3 games this weekend, whether it's throwing or pinch running or doing whatever, just to get into the game and count it as has an appearance for Potter, so he's eligible for the postseason. Now, given the fact that he needs to play in all three, unless Todd Haney's thinking about having him pinch run twice, they probably don't want Potter to throw a lot tonight so that he can throw again if needed, most likely on Sunday. This is a rocket that is fair down the left field line. McGregor Sharp hustling around second. He goes for third and will stop there. Playa has a double. He's 2 for 3. And the HarbourCats have a pair of runners in scoring position and only one out. Well, he just kept it fair down the left field line. He turned on that pitch and drove it all the way to the left field corner. Playa's been swinging a hot bat tonight. A couple extra base hits for him, including the home run. And Gus Wilson will try to drive in another run. He's already scored one on a sac fly. And another sac fly is in order here, with McGregor Sharp at third and one out. Infield not being brought in by the lefties. It is just in a touch at the corners, but at normal depth up the middle. Fastball missing to Wilson for 1 ball, no strikes.
Oh, here we go. Let's go out there now. He just wants to talk.
Meeting on the mound now with Zach Tresmer. Now, I mentioned one of the other things to look at with Tresmer is the pitch count, because he has not started a game this summer for Port Angeles. He has only thrown out of the bullpen. He's now working into his 4th inning. And this summer he has thrown 2 innings in relief on a number of occasions. He even threw 3 innings in relief once, but has not gone more than that. And a lot of 1 and 2 inning relief appearances for Tresmer. So you start to wonder, maybe just starting to tire a little bit out there, having not pitched this deep into a ball game at all during the summer. Home plate umpire Jared Roberts goes out to the mound to try to speed up this discussion. It's 1 ball and no strikes on Gus Wilson. Nick Playa is at second base. McGregor Sharp is at third. Wilson at the plate, trying to knock in his 2nd run of the ball game. And the 1-0 pitch. That one came inside and hit Wilson on the back. He's going to trot down to first. Looks like he's fine. It was looked like a fastball. It was clocked at 81 out of the hand of Tresmer. But it's going to bring up Griffin Paxton with the bases loaded. And he hit his first 2 home runs this summer, earlier this week in Port Angeles. He's now up to 27 RBIs on the season. And even when he wasn't hitting home runs before, he was still a very productive bat. A lot of base hits and some extra base hits too. Really been consistent all year long, and it's a big chance for him to drive in some more runs here. Flown out to left field. To Hyden makes the catch. And it's just going to be McGregor Sharp kind of bluffing towards the plate, but not trying to tag and score. So it was not deep enough. That fly ball from Griffin Paxton, and there's 2 away.
Now batting the 3rd baseman from Cal Baptist, number 6, Harrison.
So it's going to bring up Harrison Spawn. HarbourCats now need a 2-out base hit to get something out of this inning. Would be a big step in the right direction for Tresmer to get through this bases loaded jam without allowing a run to score for the first time in an inning tonight.
But it looks good.
Spawn a swing and a foul back. 0-1. The count to him to start out this at bat. Gus Wilson at first, Nick Playa at second, McGregor Sharp at third. 2 away now in the bottom of the 4th inning. HarbourCats lead by 4 runs. And looking to add to it if Harrison Spawn can come through with a 2-out knock. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Tresmer to Spawn. There's a breaking ball, and it catches the inside corner. 0-2. So Spawn's now going to have to try to battle and fight off that strike zone, protect the strike zone against Tresmer. See if he can put something in play. Give the HarbourCats the chance to score a run with a 2-out, 2-strike base hit. Tresmer sets at the letters, and now here is the 0-2. Spawn with a chopper foul towards third. It remains 0-2. The Lefties just now getting somebody up in their bullpen, so Tresmer, I suppose if this inning were to really explode on him, Lefty's smart to have an insurance policy, but we'll see if he can get through this bases loaded jam without allowing a run if he starts the next inning, which again would be far and away his longest appearance this season for Port Angeles. 0-2 to Spawn. Downstairs, good take, 1-2. Well, if Spawn is able to reach, here are the bases full and 2 outs. Next up would be Kyle Sherrick. Sherrick already is singled and homered tonight.
Hi, Harvey.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Spawn fished in the dirt, and the tag was applied to end the inning. So a nice frame for Tresmer. He did get into trouble, but he strands the bases loaded for Port Angeles here in the bottom of the 4th. And that sends us to the 5th with the HarbourCats still leading 6-2. Back here for inning number 5 here at Wilson's Group Stadium. HarbourCats still lead the Lefties by a score of 6-2. Jacob Potter back to work for his second inning in relief. Potter was able to get 3 straight outs after coming in with a runner at third and nobody out in the last inning. He did allow that inherited runner at third to score, but he got a strikeout and a couple of weak contact ground ball outs, so it was a successful frame for Potter to stop the bleeding and keep the HarbourCats up by 4 runs. So now he works into his second inning of relief here in the 5th, looking to keep that positive momentum going. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 now. This is Bo Blowers, the first baseman at the plate. Now the 1-2 pitch to Blowers is just up high. It's 2-2. Just 1 hit in the game so far for the Lefties. Breaking ball is not close from Jacob Potter. 3-2 now the count. That 1 hit though was a triple by Brad Altamari that scored Gavin Rourke, and then Altamari came in to score on a RBI ground out. This time though, it's another punch out for Jacob Potter. Strikeout number 2 for him since he entered the game, and there's 1 down. So a good start to this top of the 5th inning for Potter, getting Blowers looking for the strikeout. Reese to Hayden, the left fielder, now will step in, and then Riley Quinton, the DH, will be next after him. First pitch misses down and away. There to Hayden. 1 ball, no strikes. Another breaking ball that misses outside, 2-0. Well, again, the HarbourCats do know who they are going to be playing in the first round of the postseason. Has been confirmed that the Wenatchee Apple Sox are the opponent. Slow roller towards first. Griffin Paxton picks it up. He steps on the bag himself, and there's 2 gone. Now, even though the matchup is confirmed, the HarbourCats and Apple Sox are actually still competing for the second half North Division title, which the HarbourCats coming into today with a half-game lead over Wenatchee, but that's more of a factor of pride and bragging rights than anything else, because these two teams know that they're both in, and they know that the HarbourCats have home field advantage in the division series. They will start on the road on Tuesday and then play games 2 and, if necessary, 3 here at Wilson's Group Stadium on Wednesday and then Thursday. Now, head-to-head in 2019, as this one is lined into left field for a base hit there by Riley Quinton. He keeps the inning going for Port Angeles. But you look at the head-to-head matchup between the HarbourCats and Apple Sox here in 2019. HarbourCats won 5 of 6 against the Apple Sox, but all 6 of those games took place in the first half when Wenatchee was struggling. So I don't think you can really take too much into the season series, because given that Wenatchee has really turned it on here in the second half, they've gone 17-6 since the turn of the calendar. This one is up the middle past Tanner Haney into center field. Back-to-back base hits off of Jacob Potter for the Lefties here with 2 outs. But again, you look at how Wenatchee has turned it on here in this second half. They're 17-6 in the second half after going 12-15 in the first half. So clearly something has clicked for them, and it's allowed them to make this second half surge. So it does promise to be a good matchup. And again, I don't think you can take too much stock in the HarbourCats winning 5 of 6 against Wenatchee, I should say, in the first half of the season. But we will see how that series plays out starting Tuesday. In the South Division, if you're wondering, we also already know the matchup, and it's going to be between the Corvallis Knights and the Walla Walla Sweets. The Knights have already clinched the second half division crown, and Walla Walla cannot be caught when it comes to the second best overall season-long record in the South. So the playoff matchups in the division series are set in both divisions. This one is lined past the mound and up into center field, getting the wave around the third run for Port Angeles, and it will score. And it's an RBI single here for Gavin Rourke to make it 6-3. So the Lefties trying to claw their way back into this game. It's now a 6-3 ball game in favor of the HarbourCats. Brad Altamari stepping in here. Remember, it was his triple that got the scoring started in the last inning for Port Angeles. There is a breaking ball in for a strike to Altamari, 0-1. Swing and a foul there by Gavin Rourke over the right side, 0-2. So Potter now has allowed a run in this inning, but a chance to limit the damage here if he can just get Gavin, or I should say, Altamari. He's ahead of him here, 0-2. So a chance also to kind of nibble at the corners or perhaps go outside the zone to get a chase. Time called at the plate here before Potter's 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him, and that ends the inning. So Potter limits the damage to just the 1 run here in the top of the 5th. We're halfway home at Wilson's Group Stadium. It is 6-3 HarbourCats on top.
It's not on there yet?
I gave the letters to the post, people inside. About early next morning, he brought my letter back. Return to sender, address unknown, no such order.
Oh, those aren't mine. That was I had.
I write a story, but my letter keeps coming back. I didn't make it wrong. I said special needs. Right early next morning, and it runs back to me. Address unknown. No sense, no rest. No sense, no. Return to sender. Return to sender. Return to sender.
Last second.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
All right, as you may have noticed, the Cats have switched jerseys. These are the jerseys you will win tonight. Make sure you get your entry forms in. I know. Each 25 of your programs into the info booth.
I got it. Take me out the body. Take me out of the body. Absolutely. Perfect. Yep. And I've got.
Leading off for your HarbourCats left fielder from Seattle University, number 54,
How do we enter to win it?
Gotta take a. Okay, come on, Palmer. Get it.
Wait, a little higher.
Two half bases and one full. That's good. Photo bomb.
On to the home half of inning number 5. Kyle Sherrick steps in here for the HarbourCats to lead it off. He has been red hot to start this game, has a single and a home run on his line so far. That home run that he hit just scraped over the wall in right field. And originally, it looked like Dylan Sear brought it back into the park. And in fact, he tried to sell it by putting up the 2-out sign after he leaped up, but it did not fall into his glove. It was just out of his reach in right field. So Sherrick did get the home run. This time, though, he strikes out. And that'll be the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning. We have a new pitcher on the hill here for Port Angeles in this bottom of the 5th. It's Jaden Seibel from Big Bend Community College. He is making his 4th appearance out of the bullpen for Port Angeles this summer. He has thrown a total of 7 innings in his first 3 appearances, and he's allowed 9 hits and 9 walks while striking out 4. This is Tanner Haney at the plate for Victoria, the 1-0 pitch. Haney with a high fly ball, but foul down the left field line. That may have had home run distance on it. He was well out in front of it on that swing. It's 1-1 here on Tanner Haney. Haney 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far. HarbourCats once again putting up runs against the Lefties. They scored 35 runs in the 3 games against Port Angeles in Port Angeles this week. They've got 6 just past the halfway point in the ball game so far. So right on pace. Haney into left field. That is a base hit. So he is 1 for 3. HarbourCats have another base runner, 1 on and 1 out. And Ty Schindel now will get another chance to hit. Well, one of the things you might notice is that the HarbourCats have changed their jerseys. And now there's a reason for that. Because tonight is the HarbourCats something that they do every year, their annual Jerseys Off Our Backs night, where they give away the game-worn jerseys to some lucky fans who enter the raffle and are the lucky winners. Each player as well will sign the jersey and then hand it off to the lucky fans. So it's a nice kind of fun promotion the HarbourCats do each year in their last home regular season series. They take the jerseys that they're not going to wear in the playoffs or next year, and they give them to the fans. Now, the reason the HarbourCats changed their jerseys is because it's also Forces Friday, and they have their special Forces Friday jerseys that they wear each Friday home game with the Vic PD kind of style. It was inspired by a Victoria Police Department officer's shirt, and so that's kind of what it looks like if you look at it close up. Of course, from afar, it just kind of looks like a blue jersey, but when you look at it close up, it has the Vic PD shirt kind of pattern. So they wanted to wear that again on Forces Friday, but now they're going to change for the rest of the game to their red and white alternates, which is the ones they will be giving away at the end of the night. So they will stay true to their word and give away game-worn jerseys tonight. This one is rolled into right field, and it's a base hit for Ty Schindel. He's 1 for 2. Haney goes for a third. He slides in safe. And runners at the corners with 1 out. HarbourCats threatening for some more runs here in the bottom of the 5th. Now the HarbourCats, and I mentioned the Jerseys Off Our Backs promotion, it's part of some really good promotions this weekend at the ballpark. Before today's game, we had a special drone demonstration with the Victoria Fire Department as a part of the Forces Friday special promotion. So they brought a drone out onto the field to show how they can use a drone to help them fight a fire. So that was pretty cool. They had Harvey as well, the HarbourCats mascot. They had him up on the very top step of the fire ladder that was brought into the concourse of the park. He was pretty high up there. Not sure that's something I would do personally, but Harvey putting on a brave face, going up there for a little bit, waving to the fans. 2-0 pitch is flown in the air out to deep left field. Nick Adams has gone deep. That's a home run. A 3-run shot for Adams. Number 7 on the season. And it is a 9-3 HarbourCats lead. Third home run of the night for Victoria, and Adams keeps swinging a hot bat. RBIs 19, 20, and 21 for him on the season. And it's now a 9-3 Victoria lead. They restore a 6-run advantage that they had before the Lefties scored 3 unanswered runs to cut it to 6-3. McGregor Sharp now will get a chance to hit. We have a mound meeting here with the Lefties just trying to settle down Jaden Seibel. Now just back to the promotions I was talking about this weekend, the final home series of the regular season. So the HarbourCats have saved a lot of good promotions, and so tomorrow it's going to be the last of 4 fireworks nights presented by Wallace Driving School. So that'll be a busy night at the park, as the fireworks nights always are, always the highest attended games of the regular season. Then on Sunday, it'll be Fan Appreciation Day at Wilson's Group Stadium with Passion Sports. And it's also Bike to the Park Day with Tour de Victoria and Ryder Hesdal. Of course, a proud Victorian. So that'll be fun to see him at the park and the Tour de Victoria crew. So that's what's coming up here this weekend at Wilson's Group Stadium. And something I mentioned earlier in the game, but worth repeating, the HarbourCats are also trying to go after a new single-season attendance record, both for their own franchise and in the West Coast League, because the HarbourCats currently own the West Coast League's single-season attendance record. So if they break their own mark, they would set a new mark not only for themselves, but also for the league. And they're about between 9,000 to 10,000 fans away from setting a new mark, and they have these 3 games this weekend to try to do it. So they got good promotions this weekend. They got the fireworks to try to get fans out. They have a very good crowd on hand tonight. As you look around, not a lot of empty seats down the first or third base lines. So the HarbourCats may well be able to break that record. We'll see what the official attendance number is for tonight. We'll get that later in the ball game. Again, tomorrow expected to be a busy crowd, and then Sunday afternoon to close out the regular season. McGregor sharp, a ground ball to short. Rosenberg's throw in plenty of time at first, and there's 2 down.
There you go.
Now batting, the designated hitter from Al Batman. Oh, you guys know how this goes. Number 23, Nick Plata.
Well, they got the fans doing the baby shark clap when Playa comes to the plate. This one is out towards right center field. It's going to drop for a base hit just in front of the diving Rourke. Made a very good effort at that ball. Playa on his way to second. He has a double. And Playa is now 3 for 4, 2 doubles and a home run. What a game he's had. And the HarbourCats looking for more now in this bottom of the 5th inning. Already 3 runs home on the Nick Adams 3-run home run. So Playa will take a decent lead off of second after that little hustle double. Little bloop out to right center field. Originally, it looked like that ball was going to fall in easily. Playa is running. It's grounded to short by Wilson. The throw from Rosenberg gets away. Here comes Playa for the plate, and it is 10-3. Going to be an error charge to the first baseman Blowers to allow Gus Wilson to reach base and allows Nick Playa to score. And it's another run in this inning for Victoria. So next up, Griffin Paxton for Victoria. He is 1 for 3 with a run. Paxton hits it hard but foul past first base. No balls and a strike. Gus Wilson now over there at first with 2 away. Ten runs on 10 hits now in the game for Victoria. 3 runs on 4 hits for Port Angeles. They have also now committed 3 errors, and at least 2 of them have been costly ones. Just saw one a moment ago. There's a bit of a low throw from Rosenberg. The error was charged to the first baseman Blowers, but either way, not sure. It was one of those you could have maybe given the error on either side, the throwing or receiving end of that play. But it certainly was an error. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one is a rocket foul down the first base side into right field, down into the secondary grandstand. 1-2 to Griffin Paxton. Breaking ball misses up high and also wide to Paxton. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of inning number 5. Paxton got underneath it out to right center field. Who's it going to be for the lefties? It is Rourke from center making the catch. And that is all for the HarbourCats here in the bottom of the 5th. They score 4 more, and it's 10-3 Victoria as we go to inning number 6.
Watch the big screen.
Can we get these 2 on?
Watching the big screen. You should be kissing. Let's try lucky contestants number 2.
Can you handle 3 people on a kiss count?
Hey, we got 1. There's another. We try for 3. We're going to get 3. I got a feeling here. If we can get one more, I will give that person the prize.
Okay, let's get
Lori said she'd kiss Jim for a prize. Oh, yeah, there we go. Lori Swanson sneaking up on Jim Swanson, who for once did not have his phone in his hand. Rare sighting. Great job, you two. Leading off for the lefty, third base number 47,
Do you want order forms for the players like the
First pitch of the inning is sent out to deep center field. Back on it and making the catch, Ty Schindel. So that is 1 out. That was Damiano Palmisciani flying out to deep center. I mentioned that Port Angeles has lost their leading home run hitter and RBI man in Matt Christian, but Palmisciani, since Christian has departed, is the acting home run and RBI leader for Port Angeles. This one is nicely stroked into left field there by Dylan Sear for a base hit. So Sear is 1 for 3 tonight, and there's 1 on and 1 out. Still Jacob Potter throwing for Victoria. He's now through 2 1/3 innings. Has allowed 1 earned run on 3 hits while striking out 3. Trying to limit the damage. Just that 1 earned run would be a nice relief appearance for him if he could get through 1 more inning here and just keep it to... This is Trevor Rosenberg. He was in the midst of a long battle with Jacob Potter in their last at-bat, where Potter eventually struck him out after a lot of pitches, a 3-2 count, and a lot of fouls off the bat of Rosenberg. This time Rosenberg looking for some revenge at the plate to get back at Potter. Fastball misses to him up above the zone. It's 1-2. HarbourCats have also made a defensive change behind home plate. Jaden Cull is now doing the catching. So another chance for Todd Haney to get a recent arrival, I should say, into the ball game and get Cull another game to be eligible for the playoffs. 1-2 pitch, lined into center field. This will get down for another hit. Rosenberg now 1 for 3. Sear stops at second. There's 2 on with 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning.
I want out of something. Yeah.
Well, the Lefties did have the deficit. They started behind in the game 6-0. That one tips off the glove of Jaden Cull and gets to the backstop. So both runners move up into scoring position. 1-2. Or check that 1-0 the count. But the Lefties started the game. 6 unanswered runs from the HarbourCats to make it 6-0. They did get themselves back in it. They have the deficit to 6-3, but then Nick Adams restored a 6-run HarbourCats lead with a 3-run home run. 1-0 pitch. Little flare out to shallow left. This ball is going to drop in front of Sherrick. And coming in to score on the play is Dylan Sear. So it's now 10-4 on the little bloop base hit from Bo Blowers. And the Lefties are back on the scoreboard here for the 3rd inning in a row in the top of the 6th. So runners now at 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Potter is just a ground ball away from potentially getting out of this inning, but he has now allowed another run. And again, Port Angeles is not going to quit. They're still trying to string some good at-bats together. They've scored now in 3 consecutive innings. They've yet to have a real big inning, though, and that's what they're trying to do here in this top of the 6th, see if they can get back in this game. There's a foul tip around home plate. No balls, 1 strike. Reese to Hayden, the left fielder at the dish for Port Angeles. There's a breaking ball in for a strike to him, 0-2. So better at bat or start to this at bat for Jacob Potter, getting ahead. Now in command of this count, looking for either a strikeout or a potential ground ball up the middle. See if he can turn 2. 0-2. Started to swing but held up. Runner is going to steal second. That's Blowers taking second base. So it does take the potential for the inning-ending double play out of the equation. And this is definitely now a strikeout situation for Potter. Blowers now in scoring position at second, along with Rosenberg at third. And the 1-2. Another foul tip. Just a little piece of it that time from De Hayden.
Come, Potter! Here. E6.
One ball, 2 strikes. Potter still ahead. The pitch is down and away. It's 2-2. Well, Potter again does have a couple pitches here where he can try and throw one outside the zone to get to Hayden to chase, but you want it a little closer to the strike zone to kind of entice to Hayden to try to swing. It's now an even count, 2-2, and Hayden awaits the pitch. Slow roller will go foul down the first base side. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. HarbourCats have a 6-run lead, 10-4 here in this top of inning number 6. Lefties trying to battle back and get themselves in the game. They have 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. They're also starting to creep up towards the HarbourCats in the hit column. They have now 7 in the game compared to Victoria's 10. Now the 2-2. Strike 3 called. Good curveball from Jacob Potter. Got him looking, and there's 2 away. And an important strikeout to keep the base runners where they are. Now any out will do for Jacob Potter to strand those 2 base runners in scoring position.
Now batting the designated hitter number 30, Riley Quinton.
So a big punch out there for Potter. Next up is Riley Quinton, the DH. He is 1 for 2 with a run and a strikeout so far, and he takes downstairs 1 ball, no strikes to start this at bat.
That's why you're coming back there. That's why they keep
No. It's not quite like that. I've lost every time.
Well, Quinton limited at bats for him. Another one of the recent arrivals for Port Angeles. Just 4 for 12 coming into tonight. Swinging a foul back. 1-1, so he's 1 for 2, which means he's now 5 for 14 as a Port Angeles lefty. So it's an example of a player who has come in and done a nice job so far at the plate. Just trying to make the most of these last few weeks and his opportunity in Port Angeles and to play in the West Coast League. 1-1 pitch, again missing down low. It's 2-1. Jaden Cull has been busy back there since coming into this game with a couple of blocks. McGregor Sharp was the starting catcher for Victoria, but now it's going to be Jaden Cull behind the plate, presumably for the rest of the game. Now the 2-1 pitch is a strike, painting the outside corner. Nice looking pitch from Potter. It's 2-2. The pitch count is starting to get up there for Jacob Potter. That last one was pitch number 50 for him in the ball game since he entered in relief. And here now, pitch number 51, the 2-2. Just a little piece of it there from Quinton to stay alive. Potter almost got it by him. Still a 2-2 count. Potter now has allowed the 2 earned runs on 6 hits. through 2 2/3, but I suppose the positives he can take is that he has not yet walked a batter in his 2 2/3 innings, and he's also struck out 4. So he's been missing some bats, and he has been around the zone. Another 2-2 pitch coming up, and here's Potter's delivery. Slow roller to second. This should get him out of it. Haney throws to first, and that's the inning. So Lefties score another run, but Potter limits the damage, and it's 10-4 HarbourCats as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
All right, thank you, Dan. We have Paul Barron from Austin Brown. He's the man who's going to, well, actually not going to get the shirt off his back. He's going to get the shirt off their back to you guys. So, Paul, looks like the third or fourth you guys here to get doing this. Tell them about it.
It's a lot of fun. So, at the end of the game, these guys are going to come out here, raffle off your shirts, might take them off their backs, and you might win one. It's a lot of fun.
No, they just told us.
And next year, Jim hinted at it if you were a little late getting to the game, but I just want to go over this again. You guys have something special next year.
Understandable, but we got away with it all.
Yeah, as I understand it, they can do all the things in the shirt these days. We're going to have a contest to see what can design the shirt.
And I was like, the front, you have to go here to the front desk area to go up.
We want to thank Alderman Brown. This has been the Moxie's Minute, and folks, trust me, you'll want to stay to the end of the game. Last year I won a shirt and I left early and I didn't keep it. Thanks, Jim. So stay to the end of the game and win the shirt off their back.
So there would be room for
Leading off for your HarbourCats, it is the third baseman from Cal Baptist, number 6, Harrison.
We go to the home half of inning number 6. Harrison Spahn will begin this inning for the HarbourCats. Middle third of the order. Spahn, Sherrick, and Haney will step in to hit. First pitch to Spahn misses off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. And so we play on now to the bottom of the 6th inning. HarbourCats have a 6-run lead, 10-4. They have continued the offensive onslaught against the Lefties this week. If you're just joining us for tonight's game, HarbourCats outscored the Lefties 35-5 in the 3 games up in Port Angeles from Tuesday to Thursday. And they've now outscored the HarbourCats, or the Lefties, 10-4 tonight. So it's been a good couple of games to be a batter for Victoria. Not a great couple of games to be a pitcher for Port Angeles. This is a little lazy pop-up into foul territory. And Palmigiani makes the catch there at first for the first out.
Now batting, the left fielder from Seattle University, number 54, Kyle Sherrick.
So next up, Kyle Sherrick. He struck out his last time, but in his first 2 at-bats, singled and homered. So he is 2 for 3. Sherrick down the right field line. Long run for Sear. He's not going to get it. Sherrick, a wide turn, but stops at first. And all of a sudden, Sherrick now is a triple. No, he's not. Excuse me. He's singled twice. My mistake. I was about to say he was a triple away from the cycle, but no, he's singled twice and homered. So needs a double and a triple, of course. There is a potentially, though, the chance for him to maybe hit 2 more times if the HarbourCats can keep up this level of productivity at the plate. Tanner Haney will now try to step in and keep the line moving. Sherrick started to go for second but did not end up running, and Haney took downstairs in the dirt for 1 ball and no strikes. Catcher Takayoshi will head out to the mound to chat with Seibel. Maybe just we're not on the same page when it comes to the signs on that last pitch. HarbourCats now with another right-hander up and throwing, so we will assume that Jacob Potter's day, his 3 relief innings, are all that he will be asked to get through. Sherrick running this time, and he steals another base. That's the second stolen base tonight for him. And he's now in scoring position with 1 away for Haney, trying to knock him in. Haney, by the way, 1 for 3 with a run scored so far.
Guy's throwing 39. Stop, man. He's throwing 39.
Now the 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike to Haney, 2-1. Ty Schindel will be next for the HarbourCats. But first, Tanner Haney trying to knock in Kyle Sherrick from second base. HarbourCats have a couple of cracks to try to do that here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. There is a close pitch, a fastball just missing outside. It's 3-1. So a good hitter's count now for Haney, and a real chance here for him to look for something to hit. Now Seibel does have first base open, so he does not have to give in here on 3-1. But there is just only 1 out so far in the inning. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Runner goes again. It's ball 4. And it's going to allow Sherrick to advance to third. Haney takes his walk to first. And so as a result, runners now at first and third with 1 out for Ty Schindel. So heads up base running again from Sherrick. Seeing that ball get away, of course he would not have ordinarily been allowed to advance to third with the walk, but he took third on the wild pitch. Schindel out towards the gap in right center field. This is going to get down. In to score is Sherrick. Haney around third. He will stop there. It's an RBI double for Ty Schindel. And that makes it 11-4. And he didn't wait around either on the first pitch from Seibel. Picked something out and found a gap in right center field. And up steps Nick Adams now with 2 men on. And what did he do last time he came up to the plate? Well, he hit a 3-run home run with 2 men on. So we'll see if he's swinging for something like that again. Now the 7th home run he has hit this summer. Adams hasn't always been the most consistent necessarily at the plate, but one thing he has brought always to the yard is his home run threat. And he has been swinging a much warmer bat of late. He's got the average now back up in the mid 200s. There's a wave and a miss for Adams. It's 0-2. Ty Schindel at second, Tanner Haney at third, 1 away, 0-2 on Nick Adams, who is 1 for 3 with that 3-run home run. Seibel looks in for the signs. He's now set, the 0-2. Adams rolls it through the hole into left field. Haney scores. Here comes Schindel for the plate. He will score, and it's a 2-run single for Nick Adams. He is 2 for 4, and he's driven in 5. It's 13-4 HarbourCats. And the HarbourCats just keep on piling the runs on the board. They did not leave their bats in Port Angeles. They brought them with them for the continuation of this kind of home-and-home series against the Port Angeles Lefties. This one is swung on and hit well down the right field line, but it's going to go foul off the bat of Jaden Cull. Cull is going to get a new piece of lumber here. Might have actually chipped his bat with that foul ball. Nick Adams is now at first with 1 away. Cull at the plate. Oh, and 1 pitch to Cull is a bit of a half-hearted hack that time, and he missed for 0-2. Well, Cull got into a couple of the games in Port Angeles earlier in the week. Went 1 for 3 in total with an RBI in his first 3 West Coast League at-bats. Liner past the mound, and it's caught at short by Rosenberg. That's a double play as he tosses it to first to get Adams. And an unfortunate one there for the HarbourCats, but quick heads-up play there by Rosenberg at short, and that gets the Lefties through the 6th inning. HarbourCats add 3 more runs. They lead it 13-4 as we head to the 7th.
We have Carson and we have John. The object is to knock over the opponent's killer. We'll see how that goes. On your marks, get set, go! Epic. Oh, there's your winner!
If you actually want to do that.
And someone who can't let it go. The bubble balls are brought to you by Good Life Fitness. And big thanks to the commissioners for providing security for all Victoria HarbourCats teams. Commissioners listed every day, everywhere.
They have promotion. Okay, have a good team.
And it is your last chance to get 50-50 tickets from the United Way. Please support this great cause. We are over $1,300 to the winner, and that was a while ago they told me that, so it's probably even higher than that.
Hey, your times were a little off. I was just yeah, no. It's hard. Yeah, I'll tell you, like,
Number 5,
Guys, come here. Oh, yeah. What?
in at first base for your HarbourCats.
Yeah.
We're back here at Wilson's Group Stadium for the late innings between the HarbourCats and the Lefties. We thank you once again for sending in your tweets using the hashtag HarbourCats. Showing a couple more of the live tweets there in the inning break. And we have a new pitcher on the mound now for the HarbourCats here to start out the top of the 7th. It is Finn Chester, who stands at 6'2", 175 pounds, from Victoria, BC. And he plays his college ball at Salt Lake Community College. Missing 1-0 here to the catcher Tommy Takayoshi. 9-1-2 in the order for Port Angeles in this top of inning number 7. Takayoshi goes upstairs and fouls it away down the left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, it's now an all Victoria battery with Jaden Cull, the Victoria native. Currently goes to Belmont High School. He's doing the catching behind the plate, and on the mound, Finn Chester. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count on Takayoshi. Chester, by the way, is making his pitching debut for the HarbourCats. He had appeared in a couple of games as a pinch runner. So again, just kind of, this is part of Todd Haney just getting his guys into enough games to be eligible for the postseason. He starts out with a strikeout there of Takayoshi, so a good way to start his evening and his relief appearance. And there's 1 away now to begin the top of the 7th, but Chester is a pitcher by trade, so he's not going to be batting all that much. Or running either, we would expect in the playoffs. Going to be a guy who they'll use out of the bullpen, and a chance to throw here for the first time this summer. Downstairs for 1 ball and no strikes. Back to the top of the order now for Port Angeles, and it's the center fielder Gavin Rourke. Swinging a foul straight back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rourke 1 for 2 tonight. He has scored a run and driven in a run. Also walked and struck out. Even count here from Chester to Rourke. 1-1 pitch downstairs, 2-1. Well, starting to get a little dark here as we approach 9 o'clock local time in Victoria. Lights are on out there in the outfield and on the infield as well. 2-1 pitch, fouled away there by Rourke. It's 2-2. Also a bit of a cool sunset. You can just kind of see it over the left field bleachers, or the left field wall, I should say, looking over the third base side bleachers. 2-2 pitch, fouled back. It remains 2-2. Still overcast skies, but not, you wouldn't say heavy clouds. And that's allowed for a cool kind of sunset on this Friday night. Two and 2 pitch is a foul ball. Just a little piece of it there from Rourke to stay alive. It remains 2-2. HarbourCats have made the most of their 13 hits. They've scored 13 runs in this game. 4 runs on 7 hits on the Port Angeles side. They've also made 3 errors. That one misses. 89 on the fastball from Chester.
Watch the shoelace. The hole there.
But it just missed off the plate. It's a full count, 3-2 on Rourke. He has managed to run it full, and now he awaits the payoff pitch. Not close. That time Chester lost him for ball 4. So 1 on and 1 out now for Port Angeles. Chester with a strikeout and a walk now to start out his 7th inning. Brad Altamari, who has tripled, knocked in a run and scored a run so far tonight. He will hit. Runner goes. The throw down from Cull is just a little offline, and sliding in safely is Rourke at second. So he didn't waste any time either on the first pitch Chester threw. Rourke was running, and that's his team-leading 23rd stolen base of the summer. Nothing in 1 pitch. Fouled away, nothing in 2. HarbourCats with a big lead, and they're using this last couple of innings here to try to get some more depth players into the game, like Finn Chester, get him an appearance. That would be his 3rd of the summer. Another guy just like Jacob Potter who needs to appear in all 3 games in this series, either as a pinch runner or as a pitcher, to qualify for the postseason roster and meet the 5-game minimum limit. It's now a 2-2 count to Altamari. Chester has looked good so far, and just the first couple batters he's faced. Velocity is very good. That one 88 with the fastball, just missing down and away. It's 3-2. Not a big lead off of second for Rourke. And it's another full count for Chester, this time to Altamari. Strike 3 called. Got him looking for the second out. This time, Chester wins the battle on 3 and 2. And it's his second strikeout in the inning.
Last call for food, guys. You guys all okay?
We got it.
So that brings in Damiano Palmigiani, the first baseman. He started at third base, but then switched over to first. And there's a first pitch strike at 87 from Chester to Palmigiani. That one gets away from Jaden Cull, and up to third base now goes Rourke. So it's a 1-1 count, and a runner at third now with 2 outs. A couple of times now where Jaden Cull has struggled to keep the ball in front of him, but despite the fact that 2 have gotten away since he's come into the game, he's also made a couple of very good blocks as well. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag from him behind the plate so far. 1-1 pitch is a check swing, and he held up on the swing, did Palmigiani. It's 2-1. Rourke at third, 2 away. It's a 2-1 count to Damiano Palmigiani. Another one gets away from Jaden Cull, and it's going to score a run. So it's now a 13-5 HarbourCats lead. It's also a 3-1 count now on Palmigiani. Good chance for him to try to swing away here with the bases now empty and 2 out. And here comes the pitch. Up high, missing for ball 4.
Now batting the right fielder, number 14, Dylan Sear.
We have a pinch hitter here for Port Angeles. J.J. Valencia will step in here to hit for the starting right fielder, Dylan Sear. So Valencia getting a chance to swing the bat. A lot of defensive changes on both sides. Also, one other note to tell you about is Liam Balance is into the game at first base for Griffin Paxton. Slow roller towards the hole. It is tracked down there by Spawn. The long throw is in time. And that is the inning. So all in all, a nice frame for Finn Chester. Puts up a 0 here in the check that he did allow 1 run on the wild pitch, but it is still a 13-5 HarbourCats lead.
Hello, everybody. You know the words? Get out to the ball. Get out with the crowd. Find me something to say. Rock the job. I don't care if we never get back to the road. We're good for the whole team. They go in as a shame. Here we go. 4 and 1, 2, 3, structure out at the old ball game. All right, here we go. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take me out to the ball. To the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Find me somebody that can rock the job. I don't care if we never get back to the road. We're good for the whole team. They don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Leading off for your HarbourCats, he's your designated hitter from Cal Baptist, number 23, working people, and Playa.
back here in the bottom of the 7th, and the Baby Sharks at the plate. Nick Playa to lead off the inning. He almost got hit there on a big breaking ball, but he was able to get out of the way of it. 1-0. That was, I tell you, that was the best reaction yet from the fans coming out of the 7th inning stretch. Everyone was doing it, the Baby Shark clap. Another one close to Playa there. That gets a little bit of a reaction from the locals here in Victoria, but it's 2-0 the count. Playa ahead here. He's 3 for 4. Takes down low. 3 balls, no strikes. Playa already is homered and doubled twice. There's a strike. Looked to be taking all the way. It's now 3-1. Well, the HarbourCats looking to guide this lead to the finish line, pick up another victory. If they do, they would improve to 19-6 in the second half. Playa draws his walk here to start out the bottom of the 7th inning. Still, though, there is a chance for the HarbourCats to score even more runs. And it's one thing that if you've watched this team all year long, they're never satisfied with whatever the number says on the scoreboard in the run column. They're never satisfied with it. Always looking for more, always hungry to add to it. Whether it's a 0 or a 5 or a 10 or a 15, whatever it is. HarbourCats always looking to do damage at the plate. Playa's now at first with nobody out. Gus Wilson at the dish. He's 1 for 2 so far. Wilson has driven in a run and scored a run. That one was close to hitting Wilson. This is still Jaden Seibel, who looks shaky at times on the mound for Port Angeles. He's allowed 7 runs, 6 of them earned in his first 2 innings of relief. That one misses down and away, 3-0. Again, though, this is a spot where the lefties just need maybe another inning or 2 out of Seibel with the limited pitching staff that they have to turn to. Missing up high that time to Gus Wilson to push Playa into scoring position at second. 2 on, nobody out.
Now batting, the first baseman for Vancouver Island University.
Liam Balance now will step in for his first at bat since he came in defensively to replace Griffin Paxton.
A lot of people want to hear the story, and as soon as I tell them, they're like,
okay, maybe I don't. Did you do it yourself? Oh my god, I don't want to hear it. Yes. I don't want to hear it. Never mind. I can picture it.
Downstairs below the knees of Balance that time. 1 ball, no strikes. It's going to be a mound meeting here with the lefties just trying to get Seibel back in the strike zone. Back-to-back walks issued to Wilson and Playa. And is that going to be it? It is going to be it for Seibel. So we're going to have a new pitcher coming in, and it's going to be the left fielder, which is Reese DeHayden, coming in from left field to throw here. So a pitching change will allow DeHayden to throw his warm-up pitches, and we'll step aside here on Go Live Broadcast. HarbourCats still have the big lead, 13-5.
Sales going? Sales have been good. No, we're having a really good night. It's nice to finally have some warm weather. Teams playing really well, so it's nice to see everyone come out to the ballpark and enjoying the atmosphere, and the merchandise this year seems to be quite popular with everyone. So really, it's win-win for everyone here. Gotta love it. Another day at the park. Another day at the ballpark. The more HarbourCat gear we see in the stands, the better. We get a lot of compliments from people. We get a lot of people that are coming to the store asking where such and such item is because they see someone wearing it. I love seeing it in the community. I'm starting to see it around more and more, and people are starting to share it on social media. we've got a new sale on right now that's been quite popular. Any items that are purchased $60 or more, we're offering a complimentary general admission ticket to a future game. That does include our fireworks games as well. We also just got in our team game hats. These are the 2 hats that the team is wearing on the field this year. Our website, www.HarbourCats.com. You can click on the link for the cat shop. Any of the merchandise that we have at the ballpark is now on the store website as well. And we do have a US link as well. We don't have as many items for sale with the US link, but they're customers or fans from south of the border, any parents, if they're looking to pick up some HarbourCats merchandise and can't make it up to Victoria, they can definitely purchase through that avenue as well.
Sounds great.
Excellent.
Play ball.
Thanks so much. Play ball. Let's go HarbourCats.
We're back here in the bottom of the 7th inning. HarbourCats with runners at first and second, nobody out. Liam Balance at the plate and a new pitcher for Port Angeles. It's Rhys DeHuyden, the starting left fielder, now on the mound. And it's a 2-0 count on Liam Balance. It was 1-0 when DeHuyden entered from left field to go to the pitcher's mound, and he missed on that first pitch. Balance out to left field. This is going to get down. Playa stops at third. Bases are loaded for the HarbourCats and nobody out. So Balance has a base hit. Now DeHuyden stands at 5'11". He is a native of North Baldwin, Australia, and he plays his college ball at Pierce College. So DeHuyden is a catcher by trade. He's listed as a catcher on the roster for Port Angeles, but he started today's game in left field, and now he's pitching. So he's clearly very versatile for the Lefties. Just trying to mop up here in this bottom of the 7th, limit the damage as best he can. This is Andrew McQuaig pinch hitting for the HarbourCats, and he takes a strike, 0-1. So McQuaig is pinch hitting here for Harrison Spawn. Liner into left field through the hole. It's going to score 1 as Playa comes in, and Andrew McQuaig has himself an RBI single, and it's 14-5.
Stay winning.
So that'll bring in Kyle Sherrick, couple of singles and a homer for him. Bases still loaded, nobody out. Run in this bottom of the 7th inning, and Sherrick takes a fastball missing up high for 0-1.
No, she was multiple people.
There's a strike to Sherrick, now 1-1.
No way it was a
Wave and a miss there by Sherrick. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Gus Wilson at third, Liam Balance at second, Andrew McQuaig at first. There's still nobody out in the bottom of inning number 7. HarbourCats with a big lead by 9 runs, chance to make it even bigger. Little soft ground ball to third, wild throw to second into right field. It's going to score Balance in addition to Gus Wilson. 2 more runs come in, it's 16-5. And yet again, if it wasn't on before, the route sure is on now for the HarbourCats over the Port Angeles Lefties. You do kind of feel for them because you get the sense that they are just outmatched with the players that they've lost and the score lines that the HarbourCats put up on them earlier this week and have done so again tonight. But no matter what, you know, it is, in a way, a good learning experience for a lot of these players. They're playing against very good collegiate level players on the HarbourCats side. They're maybe playing a little bit above their comfort zone, but it is good experience for them, and hopefully that from the Lefties standpoint, both as a team and individually, for a lot of these guys who have come here to Port Angeles to try to take an opportunity to play late in the season, you hope that they can take something from this and learn from it and make these lopsided defeats useful in terms of making them better baseball players when they go back to their colleges. Little soft pop-up up to right. This is going to be caught there in right. Staying put is McQuaig at third, so the flyout will not be deep enough. Off the bat of Tanner Haney, there's one out.
Now batting the center fielder from San Diego Christian, number 13,
Ty Schindel now will step in. He's 2 for 3, doubled in a run in his last at bat. Look across the line, a lot of crooked innings for the HarbourCats. 4 in the first as Schindel pops it up, back out of play, foul. But for Victoria, 4 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, nothing in the fourth, but then in the fifth, 4 more runs, in the sixth, 3 runs, and now in the seventh, 3 more runs. And there's just 1 out with a chance for even more. And Ty Schindel at the dish. DeHuyden sets at the belt for the pitch to him. It's a wave and a miss. Schindel out in front of that good off-speed pitch from DeHuyden, 0-2. McQuaig at third and Sherrick at first with 1 out. Nick Adams will be next. He's driven in 5 tonight for the HarbourCats. This is a rocket off the glove of the first baseman Blowers. In to score is McQuaig. It'll go down as a base hit for Schindel. Got a little lucky, but he did hit the ball hard. And so he has another base hit and another RBI. It's now a 17-5 ball game in favor of the HarbourCats. And Nick Adams steps in, trying to add to his 5 RBI day. Now, you look at the lefty side of it, as Adams rips it into left field. That's going to get down for a hit. Sherrick stays put at third, so the bases are loaded once again. Nick Adams has another hit. He's now 3 for 5. Well, a nice loud cheer now for Jaden Cull, the high schooler from Belmont Secondary, getting a chance to join up with the HarbourCats here late in the season. He's stepping in here with the bases loaded. Softly hit to second, could be 2. There's 1 at second. No, it's thrown away. 1 run scores. Here comes the trail runner, Sherrick. Around third is Schindel, and the bases are going to be cleared on the air. 3 more runs come in. It's a 20-0 or 20-5 HarbourCats lead. Well, Victoria just not letting up. And of course, you can't fault them for it. You got to play the game the right way. You got to play the game at 100% all the time. And that's what the HarbourCats are doing. They've had the benefit of a number of errors tonight. Here's Nick Playa once again. Slow ground ball to Rosenberg. His throw to first in time to get Playa, and that is out number 2. Well, the pitching has not been great tonight for Port Angeles. That's obvious, but the defense has really let them down as well. In fact, they should have been out of this inning long ago if not for the 2 key errors that were made. And that would have also prevented at least 4 of the runs from scoring on those errors. Bouncing ball towards Rosenberg. He will throw it across his body to first. And it is on the bag for the out. Nice leap off of first by Blowers to bring it down and step on the bag, and that is going to be the inning. Well, 7 more come across for the HarbourCats. It is 20-5 Victoria.
That was the best show this year. Best show this year.
I needed help on the blocker side over there. I took it.
Leading off to the lefties, the shortstop number 8, Trevor Rosenberg.
On to inning number 8 here at Wilson's Group Stadium, and yes, you're reading the score right. It is indeed 20-5, HarbourCats on top of the Lefties. This has not gone Port Angeles' way in these first 4 games of this home-and-home 6-game series to conclude the end of the regular season. 1 ball, 1 strike here as Finn Chester goes back to work after that long layoff. Well, 7 runs came across the plate to score for the HarbourCats in the last inning.
Playing rock and roll in the background. Like you and me, there was a few waitresses.
There is a strike. It's now 1-2. Now Chester has looked pretty good on the mound for Victoria since he came into the game. Through a did not throw a scoreless inning, but the 1 run that did score was on a wild pitch. Soft liner to second, right to Tanner Haney. He'll put it away for the out. And there's 1 down now. Chester, though, did strike out 2 batters in that inning. And despite a pair of walks, he did not allow a hit. So Chester's performance, I think, on the mound is something the HarbourCats can take out of this game, which otherwise, to be frank, probably not a lot that Todd Haney's going to take out of a route like this. But one of the things he can take out of it is that Finn Chester has looked good. You look at the night Nick Adams has had at the plate, very productive. Kyle Sherrick has been excellent at the plate. Slow roller through the hole. This will find a hole in the HarbourCats infield, and it'll be a base hit.
Speed drills.
So that was Bo Blowers getting himself aboard with a base knock. 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Well, last year, the Lefties actually had a lot of success head-to-head against the HarbourCats, and in fact, they won the season series 5-1 against Victoria. They swept the HarbourCats in Port Angeles and took 2 of 3 from the HarbourCats here at Wilson's Group Stadium. There's another base hit, bounced through the hole into right field. First and second now with 1 out. But despite that, the 5-1 season series victory for Port Angeles last year HarbourCats have responded in a big way in 2019, albeit against, as I mentioned, a very short-handed Lefties team, but the HarbourCats, of course, are also short-handed themselves. But whichever way you slice it, these first 4 games, 3 in Port Angeles and now this one tonight, have not been an easy ride for the Lefties.
Okay.
It was 35-5 HarbourCats over the 3 games in Port Angeles, and so you add that to this score line. HarbourCats now have outscored in 4 games the Lefties 55-10 in 4 games.
For sure we'll get you in there. Because they're like...
And by the way, worth noting that those 4 games have been 4 nights in a row, the last 4 nights. So it's not like Port Angeles has had a break from the onslaught. It's just a matter of they're just trying to get through it, get their season over with, hopefully try to take some positives where they can, have a little bit of fun, again, where they can, although losing by lopsided scores is obviously never fun. But the Lefties, they're trying to be as professional as they can about it and just compete as best they can, do their best this weekend in Victoria, and try to show well for themselves. They'll go for what they hope is a bounce-back effort tomorrow in the second game of the series. It's 2-2 count here as Chester has given up back-to-back base hits. Wave and a miss, he got him, and that's out number 2. Good fastball at 87, blew it by Carson Jackson, who came in defensively when Reese DeHuyden moved from left field to the mound. Jackson took over in left field, so that was his first at bat, and he struck out. HarbourCats have another pitcher up in the bullpen. This is rolled on the ground to short, could be 2. No, check that, it's 2 outs, my mistake, and it's flipped the short way to second for the out. That is all for Port Angeles in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom half. HarbourCats lead at 20-5.
That sounds about right. You want to get straight to Mr. Lights. Your name sounds like that. You have won. All right, we are going to play the waiting game, which I'm supposed to do at the end of the 7th, but this is not so exciting. So, the rule was at the end of the 7th inning, if the HarbourCats are winning,
center field. Dayton Provo going back. This is over his head, and it's over the wall. Kevin Collard will touch them all. The HarbourCats have tied the game 1-1. Bonneau with a fly ball to right field, and this is going to go back and out of here. There's a drive to left field by Alcantara. This is up, and out.
On we go to the home half of inning number 8. It's a big lead for the HarbourCats, 20-5, as Liam Balance came up with a base hit in his last at-bat. Steps in for his second at-bat since coming in defensively. Swinging a ground ball foul towards third. 0-1 count on Balance to start out the bottom of the 8th. Well, let's check out the out-of-town scoreboard in the West Coast League tonight. One final to tell you about down in Corvallis. The Knights defeating the Wenatchee Apple Sox 6-0. Balance with a high fly ball to left field. Back to the wall, it is gone. And the first home run of the season for Liam Balance. The Vancouver Island native plays his college ball at VIU, goes deep, and it's 21-5. Next up, Andrew McQuaig. We look at the rest of the out-of-town scoreboard in the West Coast League. Bellingham on top of Kelowna 14-2 in the 9th inning. Down in Ridgefield in the 7th, the Raptors have a 11-2 lead on the Bend Elks. Hit hard to short. Rosenberg scoops it up off a couple hops. His throw is a little high to first, but it's there for the out, and there's one down. Down in Yakima, the Pippins trail the Walla Walla Sweets 5-3. That one in the bottom of the 8th inning. And then in Portland, the Pickles lead the Cowlitz Black Bears 7-4. And oh yeah, also mixed in there, that big score line in Victoria that we're watching tonight. The HarbourCats 20-5 up on the Port Angeles Lefties that just became 21-5 thanks to Liam Balance and his solo home run. "21 runs now on 18 hits for the HarbourCats. Now, I think I know what's coming in the top of the 9th. He's looking down to the HarbourCats pen. That's Nick Playa down there warming up. We have seen him pitch once this season. We also saw him pitch once last season, but it looks like he's going to get another chance to throw. This one is lined into left field. Nice piece of hitting by Sherrick. He is now 4 for 6. Great day for him at the plate, and that'll do wonders for his batting average. Again, Sherrick did get off to a bit of a slow start at the plate. He was kind of mired in a slump where he was in the high 100s, just below the Mendoza line, but with that base hit, he's now up to 273 with the 4 for 6 day at the plate, so that's a good news for Sherrick. Now, I talked about some of the positives that Todd Haney will take out of this game. That one came inside and hit Tanner Haney in the back of the head. He is down for the moment. He's going to get up and make sure he's all right before they allow him to keep going down to first. That was right off the back of his head, but it did glance off the helmet. That's a painful one, though, for Tanner Haney. Looks like he's all right.
Now batting the center fielder from San Diego Christian, number 13.
I think they're going to pinch run here for Tanner Haney, and that's probably the right decision. No need for him to stay in this game. Mikey Callie is going to run for him. No, it's actually going to be Callie pinch running for Sherrick. Haney is going to stay in for the time being. Well, just back to what I was saying before that hit by pitch. As now time is called here. Now Haney is going to be pinch run for by Hunter Almlid. Another pitcher who's going to get a chance to run here now. So a lot of defensive changes to keep track of here, but of course it's all of very little consequence in the late innings of a rout. Now, speaking of it being a rout, not a lot really the winning team or the losing team takes from a game like this. But if you're Todd Haney, one of the things you can take, just adding to what I said in the last inning, is that the HarbourCats just continue to really sense when an opposing arm on the mound is showing some weakness, because they're not a lineup that is ever satisfied or complacent at the plate. They're always looking to add more and more runs, and that's just a great attitude to have. Some teams have it, some teams don't. HarbourCats certainly do. They have shown it all throughout this summer, and even with the number of their big bats leaving, they've still put up big numbers this week here in this series. That one is going to get down in front of the right fielder Valencia. It'll allow Ty Schindel to reach base. He is now 4 for 5. And the bases are all full once again for the HarbourCats with one out in the bottom of the 8th inning. There's only been one inning where the HarbourCats didn't score in this game. That's the bottom of the 4th. And it's Nick Adams at the plate. Adams 3 for 5, 5 RBIs. Already hit a 3-run home run. Takes a strike, 0-1. That'll miss downstairs, 1-2.
What do you mean is that a ball?
Check that, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Kalia pinch running, he's at third. Omlid also pinch running at second. Schindel at first, a swing and a tapper foul. 1-2 now the count on Nick Adams. Well, even though it's been a bit of a sloppy ball game, especially in the last few frames, HarbourCats, as you look around the park, have managed to keep a lot of the fans here at the yard. They are staying right to the finish of this game. They've enjoyed it, that's for sure. All the runs being put up. Missing down and away that time, 2-2 the count.
Like so, like travel.
2-2 pitch, a wave and a miss there by Adams. And no, he was not a foul ball. He struck out, so it's out number 2. So here's Jaden Cull. He'll get a chance to hit again with the bases loaded. 2 away. HarbourCats maybe one more chance to score some runs in the game and add to their 21-5 lead. There's a strike to Cull. Good breaking ball at 74 from DeHuyden. Cull with a swing and a pop-up down the first base side. Not going to get there as Palmigiani had a long run. Landed foul, 0-2 count.
I'd probably cry.
No balls, 2 strikes here on Jaden Cull. Bases loaded, 2 out in the bottom of the 8th. And the pitch from DeHuyden. Stroked out into shallow right center. And what a play by Altamari to take a hit and a couple RBIs away from Jaden Cull. That'll end the inning. And we go now to the 9th. HarbourCats in need of 3 more outs.
Can we do some 50-50? You guys want some money? $1,683 is a green ticket.
Green ticket?
Don't yell at me, I don't draw them. 0, 1, 4, 1, 6, 5. 0, 1, 4, 1, 6, 5. Go to the 50-50 table and claim your prize.
Look at Nick.
Just a bit high. All right, fans, this night game is brought to you by Adams Golf. You're ready.
Yeah.
Now pitching for your HarbourCats, number 23.
Yes. We need that, definitely.
open, get to right up.
Jim Swanson, you were not doing the baby shark.
Yeah, well, tell them to get by to tell them to right up
Leading off,
I'm
This is like 78. Yeah, that helps.
Best show in town, Jim.
Center fielder number 5.
Thanks, buddy. Have fun, aren't we?
Huh? Oh, this is one of my 20. I love being here, man. Everything about it. Everything. 100%.
We go to the top of the ninth, and it is Nick Playa on the mound to try to close this one out. Of course, it is not a save opportunity for Playa, but he is going to treat it like he's the closer here coming in for the top of the ninth inning, needing 3 more outs to secure the win. Flown down the left field line, long run, and it's play is going to be made there in left for the first out. That's Mikey Callia, by the way, in left field, who made that catch, a natural pitcher. So a nice job by him there. Playa, standing at 6'3", 371 pounds from Cal Baptist. We know him as a great hitter at the plate. He has pitched just a couple times in his HarbourCats career. Both of those appearances, though, he's made for the HarbourCats were in non-league exhibition games. So this is his first official pitching appearance in the West Coast League. And he just gave up his first base hit. So Brad Altamari comes through with a single off of Playa with 1 out, so he's denied the 1-2-3 inning.
Roll it up, Hunter! Do it, Kimbrel! Do it yourself, John!
Now batting third base, number 27, Donald.
Really? Yeah. And see somebody from Vancouver Island University as well, which is kind of cool to see.
So that'll bring Damiano Palmigiani to the plate. 1 ball and no strikes from Playa. That fastball at 80 on the radar gun. Downstairs, again at 80 from Playa, so 2-0.
Be better. Hey, Chad,
Well, it is good to know that you have that kind of in your back pocket in a rout or in a desperate situation, an extra inning game. That is a foul ball down the third base line, 2-1. It is good to know that Todd Haney can potentially turn to Nick Playa in a game where he needs someone to pitch and he's out of options in his bullpen or something, but not that Todd Haney wants that to happen, but if it did and he needed someone to pitch in the field, Playa would probably be his guy in the playoffs that he would go to. This one is flown out to left field. Another chance for Callia. He makes the catch. And there's 2 down. So a couple of flyouts, sandwiching a base hit. And there's 2 away. HarbourCats need 1 more. Swinging a foul straight back there from J.J. Valencia on the first pitch from Playa. 0-1.
Yeah, don't ask me what I think.
No, I think those are the...
Everyone needs to teach me.
No judgment at all. No judgment.
Playa with a fastball. That one reaching back for a little extra. 84 on the radar gun, and it missed off the plate. Ball and a strike to Valencia. Runner at first, 2 down, top of the 9th inning.
He's a damn good-looking guy.
Lefties have scored runs in 4 of the last 5 frames. This one is popped up. Shallow left field. Gus Wilson under it, makes the catch. That's the ball game. So Nick Playa comes in for the final 3 outs, and he did scatter 1 base hit, but he got those 3 outs in relative ease for the HarbourCats. And they win it by a final score of 21-5. 21 runs on 20 hits. And as you'd expect, big days all across the board. Playa went to 3 for 5 with a home run. at the plate before coming onto the mound. Nick Adams, 3 for 6 with 5 runs driven in. Ty Schindel, 4 for 5. And Kyle Sherrick, 4 for 6 with 4 runs scored and 2 driven in. Good day all around for the HarbourCats. It's another rout of the Port Angeles Lefties, and they take game 1 here in Victoria by a final of 21-5. We thank you for tuning in tonight on Go Live Broadcast. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 6:35 on Fireworks Night. Big crowd expected to be on hand as the HarbourCats and the Lefties play game 2. For now, my name's Mike Edwards, along with Chris Jaycox, our great producer in the broadcast truck. Good night from Victoria.
You've been warned.